There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
On the way to Sirius the other day, I was driving into the studio and someone was bent over, right? It was just like a thing. And I was like near this sort of like, homeless people, right? Like this whole, whatever you call them, right? He was near this little
Human beings.
Yes,
people.
But he was bent over this entity was bent over a thing. And the first thing I thought was I drove past and I was like, man, that homeless woman's got the craziest badonkadonk.
There you go.
But I was like looking at it. I was driving and I was just like, wow.
He's owie.
And then like they got up. They they stood up.
It was a man.
It was an old man.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a super old man. I was just like, holy God, no, what is happening?
Right. Well, welcome to the last podcast on the left. Hopefully today's episode has slightly more mystery than Henry seeing what we thought was a female butt. It turns out to be a male butt.
Hey.
Which is interesting. Marcus, Henry, myself, Ben hanging out.
Yeah, and I wasn't displeased.
Good for you,
Why
buddy.
would it be? You still a luscious ass is a luscious ass, no matter who it's attached to.
We learned that from David Bowie, indeed, have we not?
But we've done episodes before on psychic vampires, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about psychic vampires in the past, and now obviously you watched that show, the What We Do in the Shadow show.
Yeah,
right?
great show.
And they have a character on that show.
Yeah.
That is
Colin Robinson.
But isn't because he's like a low energy.
He's an energy vampire.
Yes, he's the vampire.
A psychic vampire.
And we're about to do an episode about another one.
All right, well, there it is.
I love this guy, right? I have no problems with Chris Bledsoe.
Yeah.
But the more I knew I was down on my luck, right?
He's a trustworthy guy.
I had multiple near-death experiences.
It's probably on you at some point.
And then I went, and they all wanted me to take them fishing. And I told them, I'm not into fishing. I am struggling.
You can't do this the whole episode.
No, you can't do this the whole episode. This is almost like a Holden McNeely character, like slow-talking Morris.
I've had experiences beyond this world.
You know what we're going to do?
This.
Let's listen at 1.5 speed.
These experiences,
there you go.
They have torn apart my family.
All right.
Well, why are you talking like that? Well, it's because we're about to talk about the Fayetteville incident.
Or is it Fayetteville?
I don't want to fucking do this already.
Actually, it's an interesting story. It's an interesting story because Fayette was, of course, a Frenchman that had been in the area during the formation of the town.
It's almost somehow racist. All right, let's go on.
Now, today's story is widely known as the Fayetteville incident.
Wait, so you're going with Fayetteville?
I'm going with Fayetteville, and you need to turn down the. I know your asshole is burning,
buddy.
Now.
You are heating flaming hot wings.
You're heating it throughout the. It's heating throughout the room.
I'm sorry.
Yes, because I can feel your pain.
I can too. I can feel it.
Yes, I know you're in pain.
It was 25-cent wing night, and I didn't know the Flamin' Hot Cheeto wings existed. And I was like, do you do 2 orders? But you have to get 10 minimum each order. Anyway, that's the Kissel incident.
Kissel incident.
I can't even drink my Rockstar, I don't think.
God, it's hurting your belly that bad.
That's how bad it is.
Wow.
All right. The Fayetteville incident.
Now, today's story is widely known as the Fayetteville incident because that's how it was introduced to the world in a MUFON-produced Discovery Channel show called UFOs Over Earth.
Boo!
I actually love that. That's great. Very
I like
simplistic.
the name, but
it's cool.
MUFON did this psychic vampire dirty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That show aired in 2008 and only lasted 3 episodes. But over the course of the Fayetteville incident episode, the subject of today's last podcast on the left, Chris Bledsoe, was portrayed as a man who presented himself as an honorable individual, but was most likely perpetrating a UFO hoax for attention.
The best part of speaking at this cadence is that
1.5 speed.
It's so easy to make up lies because I have plenty of time to figure out
the lie.
What it is.
What it is that you want to say.
That you want to lie about, Chris. Good Lord. You couldn't even be found guilty of a crime.
I listened to 3 hours of this man.
That's on you.
But considering the story we're about to tell,
Also, he probably said like 3 sentences the whole.
I knew that time was dilated.
All right, that was hour 1.
Now, considering the story we're about to tell, I can see how MUFON came to this conclusion, because it's well known in the UFO community that MUFON is more concerned with the nuts and bolts aspects of UFOs.
As a matter of fact, they kept inviting Chris Bledsoe out to talk about his experiences, and then they would literally make fun of him. He would get heckled at these MUFON talks.
Well, we'll get to that later on.
Come on.
Well, MUFON does not deal in any sort of Jacques Vallée or John Keel style theories about the paranormal, and they mostly ridicule the sort of Fortean ideas that we explored on our Mothman series. But when it comes to the story of Chris Bledsoe, I'd say it's one of those rare cases in which, if you believe him, it has elements of both a nuts and bolts story and a high strangeness Fortean tale.
Say what you will about Chris Bledsoe, but the man...
I've never said anything wrong about him.
Say what you will.
He seems like a fine
I
gentleman.
know what you've said in private, and
Okay.
I won't let everyone else know what you've said in private.
Thank you.
All right, but I will tell you that he knows his orbs.
I believe it. We watched a video on the stream. He was very articulate about when he was filming that orb.
I know if you saw an orb, and if you didn't, it'd be a lot cooler
Or if you did.
Thank you.
Because now for
Matthew McConaughey after a stroke.
Now, for our source today, we have Chris Bledsoe's version of the story, a better written than most UFO book called UFO of God, the
Whoa.
extraordinary true story of Chris Bledsoe by Chris Bledsoe.
Great.
As you can probably tell from the title, Chris can be overly pompous at times, and some parts of his tale are almost certainly embellished, if not outright fabricated for the sake of a good story. But when it comes down to it, I truly do believe that Chris Bledsoe did have experiences outside the realm of known science at certain points in his life.
Okay.
At what point does someone carpet bomb their own life
Yeah.
so thoroughly that you know, because yes, you could say mental spiral. They're on some kind of like, they're freaking out. Everything's falling
You
apart.
never know what
You could do
life
that,
brings.
and that the UFO stuff kind of comes along with that. But we always say, what do these guys get out of telling these stories? Nothing.
Nothing
They
at
just
all.
get their lives destroyed. I purchased
I
2
heard-
copies of UFO of God today, and because of that,
Just to
that's
make sure the mailman didn't steal one of them,
That's-
because you know how they're always stealing the
They're
UFO
always-
books.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, they're like Nikes.
Oh yeah. They pass up my Jordans.
Yeah,
when those come
UFOs
in.
and Jordans, 2
But-
most klepted things from the market.
But there's something to the story that's got some weight, because again, if it doesn't, then this guy is fucking jacked. Like
And there's no
it's
way that's not.
good.
There's no way that's possible.
No
not
way.
in Fayetteville.
No.
No.
But like many authors of his ilk, Chris buries what are likely his real experiences in a mountain of unbelievable stories that were most likely extraordinarily vivid dreams. The problem is that he presents them as fact. Or Bledsoe at times might be presenting gross embellishments of actual events, because as we say, the true study of the paranormal is as painstaking and tedious as any other realm of science. There's nothing sexy about the ball that rolls across the floor.
Yeah, there is. If you're sitting and
slightly
if you've been watching the ball
For a long
for
time.
many hours, and then it is then moved by phenomenological movement,
Phenomenological.
then that's gripping.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't lie. He didn't say he was a firefighter on 9/11 that saved a bunch of babies or something.
No, he did say
but it's still his life, right?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
you know.
still his life.
Ish.
But yeah, we'll get there. I mean, again, it destroyed his whole family.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah,
Good,
for
good.
many, many years.
Well, that's what you want.
But nevertheless, let's get into Chris Bledsoe's story, which involves orbs, tiny aliens, the CIA, Pope Francis,
It does. It gets all the way to Frankie.
and
Wow.
so much more.
Are flaming hot wings brought up at all?
No. You're providing that content.
Jeez Louise.
Now, before we get into this story, it's important to note that Chris Bledsoe is what you'd call a regular Joe. He's a typical white American family man through and through. He worked most of his life in construction, and he speaks with a thick North Carolina accent that somehow sounds like Matthew McConaughey.
He does a Matthew McConaughey
kind of.
when he is shooting videos, and I've
But
noticed this.
Matthew McConaughey is Texan.
I have
Yeah,
now.
I know, that's what I mean by somehow.
That's the
Oh.
thing. I've watched so much material now of Chris Bledsoe that I know that it depends on his confidence level. When he's shooting orbs, it turns into, all right.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a little higher in his register.
Oh.
When he's talking about the many trials and tribulations of his life, dips into a bit of a Forrest Gump. Where you do, because I do notice he was going to be like, I've been through many near-death experiences.
A lot.
And
Right.
then at one time, I fell off the top of a construction area because I was
Right.
following a dollar bill.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Well, you never know.
Magoo lot incident.
Well, a dollar bill is a dollar saved. If you can find that one on the ground, pick it up if you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he
But don't chase it off the top of a building.
Well, unless you can really grab it and
It's
get
cartoon
health
logic.
insurance.
It's cartoon logic. It's $1.
Well, as Henry says, he is one of the most
Give about 4 fucking flaming hot wings for Wednesday wing night.
I feel like it's not worth it.
Oh,
for
God,
what
it's not
done.
worth it. I'm
Not
never
worth
doing it
it. It's
again.
not worth it.
And not everything has to have fucking flaming hot in it.
Well, Chris is one of the most accident-prone individuals I've ever heard of, specifically
Oh.
when it comes to fire.
Yeah, he's been set on fire a couple of times.
Come on.
This guy is like, seriously, you don't want to be within 15 feet of this guy. He is bad luck.
The lightning strike guy, just the guy who constantly just like, how does that happen?
66 times?
66. No, luckless is the word
Luckless.
that I would use to describe him.
Yeah, so every time you step off a curb in New York City and you kind of sprain your ankle, but you don't, and you're like, whew, but he breaks his leg.
Oh,
Yeah.
he rolls into the street. Yeah.
Born in North Carolina, Chris claims that at the age of 2, he was drawn to a trash fire behind his home. Quote,
Drawn. Okay, you got to do it right.
Quote, okay, fine, I'll do it right. Quote, drawn to which that what he did not understand.
It's a trash fire, pal. What don't you understand about the simplest thing to understand? Even cavemen understood.
Flames. How can colors be dangerous?
Well, he's
Man.
2. He's 2 years old.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And even by 2-year-old logic, you that hot feels like I'm getting hot.
He was curious. He was curious.
Well, Chris got close enough to the flames to catch himself on fire, which covered him in 3rd-degree burns. But he was 2. He was a kid, so he grew out of it.
Yeah,
And I knew, this doctor said, if I wasn't so young, I would be completely covered in a cobweb of mysterious scars.
yeah,
This
absolutely.
book is a bummer. It's a
Sounds like
fucking
it.
bummer.
It really sounds like it.
Well, after that, at the age of 6, Chris fell off his bunk bed, hit his face on the bedside table, knocked out half his teeth, and he had to get 24 stitches. Interestingly, the Bledsoe family doctor was a one Jeffrey McDonald, who annihilated his family in a bizarre Manson family copycat killing
Yep.
that will get a full episode treatment this November.
Yeah,
Now,
dude.
what the hell? How many people lived in this town?
Dude,
Well,
not-
Fayetteville's a town of like 200,000. It's like the size of Lubbock.
But still,
it's a
per
city.
capita, you got a home evacuator and a man who saw a bunch of aliens all in one town at 200K?
I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what's in that damn aquifer.
But when it comes to Chris Bledsoe and his fascinations, he claimed that as early as he remembered, he has always been fascinated by glowing balls.
I love
Yeah, buddy, I got
the
a beer for you.
tremendous light. I love the shape of a circle because it's easy to put in your hands.
Oh, sounds really interesting.
Well, first it was the moon. He was obsessed with the moon.
Love the moon.
Yeah, the moon's really
Love that
That's
moon.
great, Chris. What an exciting conversation we're having.
You
here.
know what else
5-year-olds.
I
I
like?
like Spider-Man, Superman. You know, you can fly.
You know what I like? I
Yeah,
like
what about it?
basketball, but not the game.
Just the ball itself. Yeah, you
Yes.
are fun. Man, this is a I love our childhood together.
Yeah, first he loved the moon, and
Love
then
that moon.
he had these glow-in-the-dark balls that his mother gave him. He loved those.
That's great.
And then he
Here are my
started-
fathers.
That's really nice.
Then he started drawing circles. You know, he's just drawing circles after
balls.
circle after circle. He's drawing the moon.
I mean,
He's drawing anything circular.
Look, mama, look. It's the moon.
it's a circle.
It's the moon.
It's another circle.
And look, mama, look.
Hey, have you ever looked at the moon and saw it be like kind of like a nail, like kind of a crescent?
That's
moon?
when I don't look at the
You
moon.
don't look at the
That's
moon.
when I don't
You
like
don't
it.
like that moon.
No, look at this picture,
That's
mama.
a circle.
It's the sun.
Yeah, but it's a circle.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Perhaps, Chris strongly hints, he was destined to one day tangle with the orb genre of UFOs later in life.
Oh, so they're setting him up for
He
it.
didn't say that specifically. I'm just taking the hints, like when I'm saying circles, moons, glowing balls, loving all of these.
Yes.
I think it'd be tits.
Orbs. No, breasts aren't actually circles.
No,
But you boil them down.
If you boil them down, we're just going to move
tits aren't
on.
circles at all.
We're just going to move it on.
I'm drawing them, right?
Uh-huh.
If I got to draw them,
You would be drawing them wrong.
well, you
Yeah, you
start
would.
with the circle.
You'd be drawing
That's
both
not how you draw. I don't know how to draw, but I know that's not how you draw.
could do a long circle, like an oval.
That's not a
It's just
circle.
circle.
You just said that it wasn't a circle. It's an oval.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like a circle.
It's like, but it's not.
I'm not a
circle.
fucking geometrist.
Now, Chris's first experience with high strangeness came one night after a service at his family's Baptist church in 1971, when Chris was just 10 years old. He said that he was waiting for his mother to pick him up when he quite suddenly found himself locking eyes with a giant owl that stood just 2 feet from his face.
And if you believe
Cool.
anybody else who have seen UFOs, any sort of these close encounters of the first kind, when you're just seeing these
First kind?
yes, these owls are heavily feature in the world of grays, and so and
They're
and
almost
also,
the Mothman of the orb.
but it's astute because Mothman is also associated with owls. We talk about this. There's the Moloch, like the ancient entity that people talk
we
about all the time.
this every
brings up.
night at 9:30 for our talks.
Every night when we sit around our fire that we build in a parking lot of a 7-Eleven, we always have these chats. And also owls are, people connected a lot to the Lady of Fatima.
The Lady of Fatima.
Which is a religious, some say group hallucination, some say vision of a lady that's also going to come up a little bit, but not much.
I'm the man of Fatima right now.
It's really unfortunate.
I know, it really is. I've actually made a horrible mistake.
Now, there's a reason why Twin Peaks features owls so heavily.
yes.
You know, like owls, they've been associated with the paranormal for centuries. Some, such as ancient Roman Pliny the Elder, describe owls as, quote,
The very monster of the night. The very monster of the night. I hate owl. Why would anybody hate the owl? They clean up your rodents. They never attack people. Get out of here, owl. All they're doing is asking questions.
ooh.
Interrogating the
indeed.
night. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Pliny argued that when an owl appears, it foretells nothing but evil. And sure enough, just a few days after coming face to face with a big hoot, this owl proved to be a portent of near fatal doom for Chris Bledsoe.
He definitely ties these two, but they were far apart.
Yeah, that's
There's
a little
a few
strange.
days. The next thing that happens.
It's
Yeah,
a few,
but
I mean,
isn't
a
that
few
enough
days.
time?
Yeah, portents of doom have no time.
See, my mom saw an owl. My mom saw an owl for some reason. She said, "It's pop."
Your mom just says that about every dead relative.
Every single time an unanimal approaches my mother, she's like, "Oh my God, it's your grandfather."
Yeah.
And I don't know
It's
why.
just a thirsty lizard trying to bathe in the pool you bought them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, strangely, this began a lifelong relationship between Chris Bledsoe and owls.
Just like Big Boy from Outkast. We talked about this.
That's
Big
right.
Boy has owls.
Yeah, he's obsessed with owls.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
obsessed with
and they're
owls.
very smart. Apparently, they actually make fairly good pets.
Yeah, they
Well,
can
I mean,
be
you have to
fine.
let them be owls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They can't let them like play around with their toddler.
No. Although, again, have owls ever hurt people? They don't. Why are they harbingers of doom?
It's scary. They're at night.
Yeah, they weird people out. They used to
Yes.
scare the shit out of me when I was a
They're
kid.
big. They're
Yeah.
also bigger than you think they are.
Yeah, maybe. I guess I've never really even
And they
interacted
fly
with
right
one.
at ya.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, while out hunting dove with his family, Chris's cousin accidentally shot Chris in the back with a shotgun at fairly close range,
Yeah.
thinking that his 10-year-old cousin was a dove fluttering out of the bushes.
And the doctor said,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for my youth, because I have 13 BBs still in my body.
Which are orbs.
To this day. I
Interesting.
still seem to be attracting many tiny orbs.
Yeah, are you just sort of looking in the mirror backwards and you just see 13 orbs that are technically just in your skull?
The doctor said it was a miracle of God that these babies didn't affect any of my internal organs.
They may have affected your brain.
Just my attitude.
So he's burnt to a crisp when he's
Yeah,
2.
burnt to his crisp.
Shot in the head with a shotgun when he's 10.
shot in the shoulder.
In the shoulder.
In
In
the
the shoulder.
shoulder.
Okay.
Shot-
But he
shot
says
in the
the
shoulder.
pellets are still just falling out of him.
Yeah, they still fall. Well, I mean, the pellets stay in there for a while. I got
Yeah.
shot when I was a kid in a fairly similar fashion. Nothing anywhere near this bad. I only got peppered by maybe like 10 or 12.
Are they still in you?
No, they fell
No,
out.
they're all out. I just don't want to be behind him in the TSA line.
Oh, yeah. Beep,
Sir,
beep, beep, beep.
Sir, can you just go? Oh, never mind. I have a bunch of bullets in my body.
This is just another terrible story of my past. Like, sir, just get on the flight. Get on the plane.
Yeah, he had 300 birdshot wounds in his upper shoulder, and those pellets came near a half-inch from his spine. Chris believes that he should have died that day, but he said that he owes his life to the owl.
Why?
To the owl.
The owl didn't
Why?
tell him to. He still got shot.
I'm actually confused on that.
He did.
It's fine.
Well, instead of
owl.
seeing the owl as a harbinger of sorrow, Chris said that the giant owl kept him alive, saying with a fair amount of grandiosity that the owl was an omen from God, that Chris was destined for something important later on in life.
He made it to this show, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, he's in his, what, 70s?
He's on 61 years old.
My God.
He doesn't look good. No.
And
I'm not, no judgment. He's lived a hard life.
He
I
has.
do understand he's been through quite a bit.
He has.
But I saw, because it was weird, it was all next to each other. It was like a video of Tom Cruise, who's 61, and a video of Chris Bledsoe, who's 61.
Very
decidedly different
Yes,
outcomes.
Different
of
lives.
course.
But he was also on an episode of Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. So he's out there. He's a whole, like, UFO of God just got a re-release. He's in the zeitgeist right now. For all folks.
Okay.
He really is. And you know, and there's a bunch of wacky wooey woo shit going on here, but I do want to stress that I do think that his initial encounter with UFOs is legitimate.
I do too.
Also, I just put it together. Robert Bigelow, the #1 financier of Ron DeSantis, was the guy who owned Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, it's really bad.
He's loved aliens and alien-like activity his whole life.
Robert Bigelow will play a part in this story.
Really?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And-
Okay.
His octopus tentacles get into all of this
so
shit.
Yeah.
weird.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's the one that
He
fucking
loves him.
He
But
loves the
said
pudding
that- Well,
pudding
we're not
pop?
going to get into it because he said he doesn't like the campaign strategy, so he's taking his money back.
He doesn't
but
like.
he was the first funder. Yeah.
Oh, he
Wow.
doesn't like the campaign strategies, but
but the numbers are only going down.
Well, unfortunately, this omen from God did not save Chris Bledsoe from repeated accidents. Not even close to
that's the
being
thing.
over.
He keeps talking about all this stuff about these UFOs protecting him, but they didn't do a heck of a lot.
No, more horrific burns. When he was 17, the radiator on his Trans Am exploded in his face, covered him in scalding hot antifreeze. That one was probably his fault, though. Yeah, you got to wait. You got to wait until it cools down before you take the radiator cap off, because otherwise that thing fucking explodes.
I mean, technically, all three of these could be his fault because you're not supposed to step in front of the person with the shotgun either.
And
although I'll give him a reprieve on that one.
Well, he was also.
So it's just 2 out of 3.
He was hunting with 3 other 10-year-olds.
Right. Yeah. It's
So-
Fayetteville.
Yes.
I don't know if they were 10-year-olds.
They were other kids.
Yeah, they were
in
other
the book,
kids.
it gives it more context about how,
Okay.
like, they took their father's guns to go out and hunt. He's just
Does he
like,
add-
because my gun, honestly, in many ways, if I could,
You'd marry the gun.
You'd marry the gun.
yes.
Yes, you would. Great.
More
Well,
of an elope.
yeah, I'm excited for the sex scene that they have coming up, like the movie It, or the book It, rather.
Oh, the book, yeah,
Unfortunately-
so you're saying when all the children in the forest, all these children gangbang the gun?
Cool.
Wow. Better than I thought.
That's cool, though.
Wow, that's great. You really
Yeah.
put that together better than I
Due
did.
to
Yeah.
it a penis shrinking accident I had, my penis does fit
You fucked the gun?
perfectly
Did you-
into the tube. I
Yeah.
call it a tube of the gun.
And it's kind of an orb, isn't it?
It is. And, well, you know,
It's
again,
a circle.
It's a
It's a
circle.
It's a
circle.
circle.
Love in circles.
Soon after, though, Chris married his high school sweetheart.
Aw.
And he got a job with his dad working construction full time.
Great.
Tragically, the sweetheart was killed in a car accident after a keg party a short time later.
Because he went and he saw her talking to her former high school crush, right? And even though they were high school, I don't really understand how it works. He saw her and he was so enraged, he left in a huff. And then when she left after to get him, because they were all too drunk, none of
Yeah,
them
of
should have
course.
been
It's a
driving.
keg party, yeah.
Yeah, and then she died, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
she-
sad.
yeah.
It was
It's
extremely
horrible.
sad.
Well, this is back in the days, people died in car accidents like every other. Like, you got a call that someone died in a
it
car
happened.
accident
Well,
like
it's
once a
also,
month.
it was Dead Man's Curve.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
died on Dead Man's Curve, and then also
It was funny the way that they didn't change it. They just named it Dead Man's Curve. So you know now.
Well, you're supposed to know now.
You're
That's
supposed to know.
That's supposed to be a warning.
Yes, I know.
Well, still in grief, Chris returned to work and had another accident, falling through 3 stories of scaffolding after the structure gave way and he bounced off each metal bracing, crashed through each piece of plywood on the way down like so much plinko.
Many said I fell in a serpentine Bugs Bunny fashion,
Right.
but I imagine was amusing from afar.
It does sound, your whole life is amusing from afar.
But as the object
yeah.
who was falling,
It's horrible.
it
yeah.
was bad.
It sounds bad, yeah.
Well, shortly after recovering yet again, Chris was introduced to the woman who would become his second and final wife.
Oh, wow.
Yvonne.
We don't know yet. We don't know if it's
61.
We don't know yet.
He's back on TV.
Yeah,
Neil Young
day.
got divorced at like 65. I figured after 60, you just stick it out. But
Well,
I watched the Soft White Underbelly, one of my favorite shows. They did an interview with a divorce attorney. He said the saddest thing he ever saw was a 92-year-old man getting divorced from his wife of 50. It was like 60, 70 years
Just
something.
stick together.
Because he met a 50-year-old that wants to suck his dick. And literally, this guy was like, I was just praying that one day this feeling of being led by my penis would leave me. But we are just locked into this shit.
wow.
My God.
Well, also, you can just say no.
Just say no.
Yeah,
or just go get your
jerk
dick.
off.
Yeah.
Just
Or
always
just
jerk
go
off.
get your fucking dick sucked and don't divorce after 61.
Nope.
After 50 years, you're allowed to get your dick sucked once.
Just depends on by who.
Exactly.
Well, in 1988, Yvonne gave birth to their first son, Chris Jr. But, of course, the birth did not come without its own...
Wait, he named his son after himself?
Of course,
As
yeah,
if
he's Chris
that
Jr.
was going to be a good thing for the fucking poor kid.
He didn't know at this time that life was going to continue on like this forever.
But he had a good sense of how it was going.
And he also, around the time that his son was born, he was diagnosed with severe irritable bowel syndrome.
Yes, he had very bad IBS.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make fun of people with IBS at
No,
all
I
because
feel I'm living it.
you're doing it. But there is a thing about, there are several sentences in this book where he's just like, you tell me how to keep the business alive when you're chained to a toilet 20 to 25 hours a week. And I was just like, holy
That's
fucking
what it means.
shit.
You have to
That's
shit that much.
That's a job.
Severe IBS is, you can't leave the house sometimes. You're
Yeah.
just shitting and shitting and
You're
shitting.
just shitting and
It's
shitting
awful.
and shitting.
Yeah.
But what if you don't eat as much? I guess, well, whatever.
Then pure bile shoots out of you and gunk and crap in
Oh,
your shoes.
No, it sounds dangerous. Your shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, your shoes. Yeah, your body absorbs your shoes.
clothes.
You
Yeah.
shit your
and then
shoes
shits
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
dude.
you really got to make
It's
sure
crazy.
to like bring an apple or something
I
when you're on a
went
long
one
trip.
time.
That's why you got to get an asshole that can fold some clothes.
I remember we took a trip to Disney World and I bought a commemorative Aladdin fez-like hat. And one time after an IBS, I called them sessions, I discovered my fez was in the toilet.
Oh, you shat it through your whole body, huh?
Wow.
Well, that is hard out there. And if you're listening from the can right now,
God bless.
Best of luck.
God bless you. Well, even more stress was introduced when Chris became a deacon in the Pentecostal church.
Oh, man.
See, Chris had converted from the Baptist faith because his wife was Pentecostal, and the passionate, frankly uncomfortable services of the Pentecostal church greatly contrasted with Chris's reserved Baptist upbringing. But despite Chris's awkwardness when it came to Pentecostal worship, seems to me that immersing himself in Pentecostal, let's say Pentecostal
Theory?
I wouldn't say theory. Pentecostal
Enthusiasm.
practices.
Sure.
Okay.
They added a flair of the dramatic to his religious beliefs.
They are much more. I went to one Baptist church and I was like, this is real
No,
sad.
Pentecostal, not Baptist.
No, I know. I went to one Baptist church. It was very serious and kind of sad and scary.
Yeah.
But then my grandmother was Pentecostal and they do clap and sing. I mean, it's all wrong and weird.
Yeah.
But it is more jazzy.
I remember I went to one like a black Baptist church in Tallahassee. We went and it was a blast.
That's black.
Well, that's different.
That black. That's totally
It was
different.
awesome.
White Baptist church is horrible.
It's
very
that's.
fire and brim stuff.
Yeah.
I was brought up white Baptist, and it was god fucking awful because it's at
Nothing you do is right.
It's at the same time extraordinarily boring, but also terrifying and guilt-inducing
Yeah.
all at the same time.
The service that I saw, the guy was.
You mean
was
sativa weed at 11 o'clock at night?
kind of. The service I saw was all about original sin. So he was just literally was like, no matter how good you think you are bad. And I was
Jesus
just
Christ.
like, I don't even think I'm good.
Yep.
That's Baptist.
Baptist.
Scary.
It's fucking awful.
Wow.
But even so, the stress kept coming.
Oh, yeah.
In the early 90s, the EPA shut down his dad's hog farm where Chris was working part-time.
They
which
said there
and
was
it-
a distinct, they were mad about how often these pigs were smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, well, it's the Environmental Pig Agency, of course.
No, all their shit was flown into a river.
Yeah,
And
no, I
and
know
they
that's
weren't
what the
really
EPA
caring about that.
He definitely has
EPA would do.
several anti-EPA screeds within his book.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be able to just let your pig shit
No, it's
pollute the
very
entire
bad. Yeah.
river. Yeah.
The river, it belongs to God. So does the shit.
Well, do you think God wants all that shit in his river then?
You know what? I don't know.
We don't know.
He
do
works
we?
in mysterious ways.
He does.
Of course, the hog farm, that was an extension of a previous side business of his father's that raised hunting and racing dogs.
Oh.
There's all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh yeah,
here.
he's doing a lot. They're running a lot of games back there.
It does seem like they're working.
They're working too hard for not enough output.
Yeah. Pretty soon, though, even his father's construction business got into hot water with the IRS over several $100,000 of missing cash. For some reason, Chris took on both the business and the debt, which only increased his stress and his IBS. Oddly, though, Chris made sure to mention that his IBS, his career, and his reputation all took a steep nosedive on 9/11.
Yeah.
He blames a lot of it on 9/11.
And
9/11.
There's truly no more context within the actual details of the book as well. Because I was like, yeah, he does talk about how 9/11 destroyed everything for him.
Was it because of the economy?
But I think I don't remember.
I don't know how like the construction business in Fayetteville, North Carolina was impacted.
I mean, say what you want about 9/11. It was a boom for construction.
It really was.
It wasn't like people lost a lot of money on that front.
But again, we all were bummed.
Yeah, we were all bummed. It was
emotional, yes.
It was an emotional bummer time, fall of 2001.
He does seem like a bit of an empath, perhaps.
He might be.
Maybe that's why he sees all this stuff.
Well, all Chris knows is that by 2003, the cash reserves for his business were gone, and his IBS was so bad he couldn't leave the house.
Oh.
And so Chris sold the company his dad had saddled him with, and after getting on the right IBS medication, he started working for his dad at a new construction business that his dad had started.
Why the fuck did he sell the first one if he just wanted to have a new one?
I don't know.
It seems like it's a shell game.
It seems like he saddled his son with a bunch of bad debt and IRS so he could start his own business, and then that business got sold, and then he had to go work for his dad again.
Yeah. But the Bledsoe family has been in this area for like over 100 years. There's a street named after them, the Bledsoe. There's a Bledsoe Avenue. But
successful family. Well,
they have a street
named after him.
They were just there a really long time.
All right, well that counts.
Now, as you can tell, Chris's life was completely luckless and honestly besieged with failure and tragedy from pretty much the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's still a fairly normal life.
Yeah, it's just straight up boring and sad.
Yeah, really.
But on January 8th, 2007, when Chris was 44 years old, his life and the life of all of his family members would change forever when the universe threw him into the deep end of the paranormal pool.
Ooh.
Now, on that day, Chris, his 17-year-old son, Junior, and Chris's construction crew were finishing up a job when they decided to take an impromptu weekend fishing trip on the Cape Fear River.
Cool. Ooh, Cape Fear.
At around 4 p.m., Chris decided to take a little alone time and went for a walk. But he soon found himself in the thick woods of North Carolina.
There's a little bit of, you have to set the atmosphere here because you got to remember, he's sad.
Yeah.
So he says at the beginning of this trip, that, they were done with this construction thing. His job were like mind this crew. And the crew was like, we want to go fishing. And he's just like, I don't feel like fishing. I am struggling, right? And they still went, and then they wanted to leave. He's like, it's gonna get cold. We're gonna get cold tonight. And they're like, we want to stay. We just got started getting fishing, right?
Sure.
And so he was like, I went to a field and I asked God to please bring me back to heaven. Like he lived a whole
That's
long
really, it's called suicide.
to God. He said, I was thinking the unthinkable.
Suicide. It's it's very thinkable.
Yes.
We all think about it.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're talking to your fucking insurance company, in which case don't tell them that because then you can't get life insurance.
Don't ever tell him.
Well, slowly, Chris began to realize that there was a strange rustling sound that seemed to be following from behind. He soon reached an open field and found that the winter sun was quickly dipping beneath the horizon, but there was still a little bit of sunlight out. The rustling behind him stopped, but when Chris looked up on a hill in front of him, he saw a sliver of reddish-orange light. Curious, Chris walked towards it and found that the light was coming from a bright, floating orb.
No fucking way.
Cool.
That's my favorite shape.
It's a circle. Well, that's great.
Chris kept walking, but when a second orb appeared,
No way.
he fell
More
to
circles.
he fell to his knees in shock.
2 circles in the sky.
Thank you, God. You've answered my prayers. I thought I wanted to die, but really I just wanted to look at a bunch of circles.
Should have went to a strip club.
Again, breasts are not circles.
Not circles at all. I mean,
Ask artists.
They are circular, but not circles.
That's what club you go to. You go to triangles. It's a whole other thing.
Yeah, honestly, they get checked.
Yeah.
Now, Chris says that owing to his construction experience, he could accurately size up the orb at a distance of 200 yards. He knew they were about 45 feet across.
Because you know what's crazy? I learned. You know, eyes are orbs.
They are.
Eyes are orbs.
They are. Yes.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at circles through circles, aren't
It's
you?
my favorite shape in my head.
It's fun, isn't it? Yeah.
Suddenly, though, a third orb appeared.
Oh.
And somehow, Chris felt that this orb was the one in charge.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Why did he feel that way?
He just felt it.
Yeah.
He just felt it.
Yeah, you're going to get that answer a lot.
Okay.
I'm an expert in circles.
In circles and circle-like activity. Great. Okay.
This is when the fear really struck. So Chris took off running while the orbs sat in place.
So if you're just looking at this from afar, you just see a man, circle, 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 and then he just runs.
I gotta go.
He runs and he dove behind some reeds to try to hide. But Chris claimed that he felt the orbs intensely connect to his very being, and he subsequently blacked out.
Oh.
Later on, Hypnotic Regression said that he went inside the orb, but he didn't really give much information on that. But yeah, he went inside.
Oh, because there's a lot of stuff. He actually goes on to say that the one thing about Chris Bledsoe is he has a lot of weird connections to various mysterious military people.
Yes.
Like Colonel John Alexander, who was the guy that was you remember the Men Who Stare at Goats? We covered this during our remote viewing episodes a long time ago, which we should probably redo at some point. But he has all these like weird connections to CIA guys, and he's like, there are certain details I have neglected to share with the public because I made a promise to my military friends.
All right.
Well, next thing he knew, it was completely dark outside, and Chris was running towards the campfire. Once he arrived, his friends asked him where the hell he'd been. His son, Junior, had gone out looking for him, but soon returned. And even though Chris claimed he'd been gone for only 20 minutes, he'd in fact been gone all night.
This is where I start to believe, right?
Yeah.
Because they all corroborated this. They all said that he went missing. He came back all excited because he was like, circles.
I saw circles.
But he really was excited to tell them this thing that he just saw because he had this like weird peaceful thing. He was like this kind of like one-on-one psychic experience with these orbs. And then they were all waiting and they're all like, we were scared as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
We didn't know where the fuck you went.
Right.
We just went looking for you. We couldn't find you. We didn't know what was happening. His son was like crazed, like just being like, you know.
Well, his
Just
son
wanted
was
a small weekend away, and they found nothing but circles.
He still got it.
It's
still in there.
I'm about to vomit, but I still got it.
Well, Junior, he was having an experience all its own. While Chris was stuck in his missing time period, Junior had his own traumatizing adventure, although his experience was far wilder and more involved than what Chris had experienced. And Junior remembered everything.
I went to look for my dad.
I feel bad for Junior.
I really do.
As we get more into the story, I really feel for this guy.
No, and Chris Jr. too on the.
He's got to be our age.
He's followed. Yes, he
Almost,
was
right?
4 years younger than me. He's 4 years younger than me.
Wow.
And he, like, they talk about on the Beyond Skinwalker Ranch and a couple other things. I see, he's fucked up.
Yeah.
This whole thing like destroyed their whole family.
Yeah. Junior said that when he went to look for his dad, he saw the orbs too. But when he ran back to tell the others, they laughed him off. Gathering courage, Junior returned to the forest and to the orbs to see if his dad was okay.
So the love of circles kind of runs in the family.
Somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interest.
Interest in circles. Yeah.
Chris came upon two of the orbs, but instead of staying stationary as they had with Chris, the orbs moved towards Junior so quickly that he didn't have time to retreat. Junior dove into the brush to hide. Because the orbs were only 15 feet away by Junior's reckoning, he got a better look at their structure.
Ooh.
He said that they seemed to be almost alive after a fashion, featuring fiery red eyes that seemed mechanical in nature, some sort of biomechanical organism. So the eyes open and closed like shutters, like the entity was almost blinking.
Cool.
It's cool. I believe that these orbs are their own thing.
Yeah.
Could be. Feels a little phantasm. Feels like
Oh,
it
it
might
does.
suck his brain out and take all the blood.
But suddenly, the orb opened, and a group of...
No.
the orb, opened itself.
It goes.
That's good. That's good. A group of small, translucent beings emerged from the orb and innocently began. They're just kind of screwing around.
They're cute.
They're just picking up sticks. They're walking about.
They're having fun.
Well, Junior was paralyzed with fear. He watched these beings, and this includes like the overwhelming presence of the orb.
You're like, wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
2 hours he was stuck down there. And this reminds me of something, Henry, that you used to say, like when we showed the Freddy Freaker.
Yeah.
It's
Freddy
like
Freaker.
we showed the Freddy
Imagine
Freaker.
you see this funny thing in real life.
Yeah.
It's traumatizing.
It's
like, you think it's cute. Freddy Freaker, if you saw him like on the commercial, oh, it's cute. Being like, Freddy Freaker. But if he was in your living room, you'd go to a mental hospital.
Well,
like
it
you'd
would
lose
change
your fucking mind.
Yeah.
You really would.
That seems like that's the sort of thing that he experienced.
But I believe him. So
Yeah.
he saw
Yes.
this, huh?
Yeah, finally, though, he heard his father yelling for him. That broke him out of his stupor, and he rushed back to the campsite.
But he got into like, that was a thing, because as soon as he saw his son for the first time, Chris Jr. was like, he was like crying and shit, being like, I can't believe you left me. You left me with this shit. And he had no idea what he was talking about, because he just like, he had this really like peaceful connection to the orbs.
Yeah, and it seems like
Chris Jr. did not.
No. Now, Chris and Junior's parallel stories freaked out the other dudes on the trip enough where they figured they'd all better get the hell out of there.
Sure.
But just as they were loading up the last of their gear, all of them saw 9 balls of light gather in a circle directly above them.
Wow.
They all corroborate this.
These orbs flashed and descended across the nearby river, where they pulsated with a blinding white and blue light. Somehow, one of the dudes had the presence of mind to say maybe they should get the fuck out of there and do it quickly.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe.
because Chris, Daddy Chris, was saying, like, not like, he's like, we don't got panic. They're here in peace. Like, he had like a peaceful experience, but all these guys were like, nope, because they watched they watched all the lights gather in a circle, then come together in a point, then zip back out into a circle again, and they bugged out.
Yep.
Multiple circles making a larger circle.
I know. You mean, mate, you know that every
It's pretty
circle,
hot, huh?
in many ways, is many, 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 many circles.
Isn't that fun?
Infinitum.
Infinitum. Indeed it is, Mr. Chris.
But that is when the chase began.
Whoa!
As everyone piled into the truck, screaming at both each other and at the orbs, Chris stepped on the gas. Problem was, they had to drive through the field where Chris had seen his first 3 orbs. And sure enough, they were waiting at that same spot.
No!
The third orb, the one that was seemingly in charge, it settled in front of the truck in the middle of the road and began a terrifying display of light. Blocking their path all the while, the orb displayed spiky, crystal-like protrusions that began revolving around the object.
Cool.
Interestingly, though, Chris described the object as tic-tac shape, which all modern students of UFOs know is one of the more common shapes cited by the military, and it's one of the more common that are caught on camera by military cameras.
Tic Tac is getting a lot of free press off of this.
I don't know if they appreciate it.
What about Mike and Ike's? It's more of a Mike and Ike, isn't it?
No, well, the Mike and Ike is more cylindrical.
Yeah, Mike and Ike's more of a, because Mike and Ike's more of a pill.
Yeah.
That's pill shape.
It's pill shaped. That's what I'd call that, pill shaped.
I see. Okay.
I'm glad we agree on that.
We won again.
You can squish it. You can squish it. We're not talking about altering the reality here.
But to not take any chances in trying to drive around or through the object, Chris jumped a ditch and drove towards a nearby mobile home looking for help of I don't know what sort.
Just leave these poor mobile home people alone.
Nobody was home,
Thank
thankfully,
God.
yeah. And the tic-tac orb was still blocking the only exit. Determined to do something.
Did they try to drive through the damn thing?
Nope. Well, determined to do something, Chris drove even closer to the orb. And Henry, maybe you can clear this up for me. Someone fired a gun at this thing, right?
Yes, that's what he said. One of the guys fired a gun towards it.
3 times. 3 gunshots.
Thrown one of the fish at it.
I mean, God knows, because it mean give it a gift.
Yeah.
Instead of retreating backwards, though, the tic-tac pointed its nose at the truck and slowly creeped forward as if it was going to ram it.
Uh-oh.
But the craft instead rose and passed over the truck, overwhelming the passengers with the sound of buzzing static.
That's cool.
It's like the deadlights.
The tic-tac then pointed its narrow end upward, shot into the sky in the blink of an eye, and disappeared.
Wow, that wasn't a circle.
It was more cylindrical, so it's not as fun, huh, Chris?
No, not as fun. Not
as
visually.
fun. No.
Chris stepped on the gas once again, but one of the other orbs was still keeping pace with their truck on the right. Once they got to the paved roads, every man continued to panic except Chris, who claimed that he was, quote,
curiously immune to the men's chaos, rage, and fear.
He's in charge.
He's
That's
in
why he's the
charge.
foreman.
He was never the foreman.
He was not the foreman. No, he was like
even though it was like his own dad's company.
He was a
never...
runner. His dad let him do stuff because he would like drive guys back and forth.
I see.
Well, perhaps the reason why Chris was so calm was because he found himself on the same road where he'd seen the Big Hoot when he was a little boy.
Yeah.
And
sometimes when brains, everyone's brain is just different. His brain is made for this.
Oh, yes. Yes, I agree.
It's both super curious, but also kind of dull enough.
But let it in.
To let it in.
Let it in, yeah. It also happened to be the same road where his first wife was killed.
They gotta just stop with this road.
It's a hard road, man.
Amen.
Yes.
Suddenly, Chris found himself overwhelmed by memories of the night of the car crash, and he slowed down to school zone speed while everyone else in the car yelled and yelled to get Chris to speed up.
My wife died here.
Go! Put on the gas! Go!
I wish I could move faster.
I don't
There's
care.
Orbs attacking us!
My wife sadly left this earth long
Mr. Bledsoe,
ago.
please, God, Chris, go!
Well, Chris felt as if time had slowed down. And
He slowed down.
Yeah, but time also slowed down.
Okay.
And in his first dip into the more wooey-woo territory, he claims that the orb's presence filled him with peace, and whatever guilt he'd felt over his first wife's death melted away.
That's
Is it possible the orbs killed his first wife?
No.
No. Okay. Mostly just drinking and driving. But what's a keg if not a circle or a single cylinder?
Again, long circle.
It's
cylindrical circle.
But
And
if you
it
look
does
from
have-
the top,
it has
it's a
circles
circle.
on
Yep.
top and bottom.
So it's still related.
Interesting.
You know, it's also a circle when you are surprised. Your mouth.
Can be.
Oh.
Okay, not a perfect circle. Not a perfect circle.
It's almost as if circles are one of the more common shapes in existence.
Yes, indeed.
Lucky for him.
Oh, he loves it. Absolutely.
Well, as he's having his experience with his guilt being what melted away, all the rest of the dudes are screaming and pounding on his seat, trying to get him to keep driving because another flying object, a massive rectangular craft with a row of square glowing lights, had suddenly appeared. And once Chris snapped out of it and kept driving at freakout speed, the guys discussed the order of who should be dropped off at home first.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I mean, you got to be
honest,
strategic about it.
I'd go right to the bar. You just got to go to the local town bar and bust in the doors.
It's just kind of funny.
I know what we saw.
Because it reminds me of the same. He remembers the same conversation when he was dying, when he got shot by 10, when he was shot at 10.
Yeah.
Where he was like fading and he was hearing the two people that were with him argue over, like, do we tell anybody we did this? Like, he was like listening to them trying to cover up his death.
he overheard way too much.
Are mean.
Yeah, he heard like everything you didn't want to hear, but never heard anything.
Yeah, because they weren't concerned. They were just concerned for themselves.
Right, of course, yeah.
Well, they eventually decided on a drop-off order, but there was no way to do it without a double back to where they'd seen the rectangular craft. And sure enough, once they got to the spot, the dark rectangular craft was still there, although the remaining men in the truck passed by unmolested.
We just don't know that, though. It's still Fayetteville.
We don't know their past.
Every single one of those people. Maybe this entire thing is an allegory for molested.
I don't know. I'm not saying molested.
No, I know what you're saying, but
he means like molestar.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, molestar, as in
small towns. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of people molested in my small town.
I bet.
Everyone talked about it all the time.
Top 5 activities.
It was just talked about and talked about.
Idle hands.
Constantly.
Idle hands. Mad mouths.
So many.
Yuck.
Now, after the other two guys were dropped off, Chris and Junior returned home and turned on the TV, expecting to see wall-to-wall coverage of the mysterious crafts that had seemingly filled the skies around Fayetteville.
No, that ain't going to happen.
Nothing, however, had been reported. And the only indication that the craft had been noticed at all was the sound of a rare helicopter flying towards the scene. But even after all that, Chris's night of high strangeness was far from over, or so he claimed.
Yeah.
His dog Rosie was going nuts and wanted to chase something out in the woods. So Chris led her outside and followed her into the darkness.
Again, the same night.
Oh, yeah.
Same night.
Oh, my goodness. He's got balls of steel.
After coming to a clearing, Chris claimed that he was face to face with a 3.5-foot tall, glowing creature with red eyes and a glassy, translucent triangle fixed to its chest. First triangle.
And you know what he said? Can I finish?
Get him in.
It was Ross Perot. Perot.
This would have been around the same time he was like, yeah.
this is
No, it was
2007.
92. 92 was Ross Perot.
This was 2007? when
Yeah,
this happened?
dude.
Yeah,
this
that's
whole
right.
story happened in 2007.
I don't know why I was thinking for a second there that it was 1994.
Because
It
it's Chris
seems
Bledsoe.
like it.
Yes, because the way the man acts and the way the town is. But no, this is recent.
Yeah, 2007. That's right.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah, he would. But you know what? Ross Perot was still alive.
He was.
There
Yeah,
you
sure.
go.
Yeah, he wasn't dead yet.
And he was definitely getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Mm-hmm. Well, terrified, Chris said something that I've never heard anyone claim to say upon meeting a possible alien captor.
Okay.
He said, quote,
I'm sorry. You got me. I'm sorry for running. I surrender.
Wow, he fucking
Gave
was a
up.
total coward.
Well, no, because
coward.
he wasn't
Isn't
afraid.
that cowardice?
Well, because
No.
he wasn't afraid. The dog was afraid. He was watching this thing. He was way more like, what the fuck is going on? And he had this
So he
psychic message.
surrendered to it.
Yes, he
Yeah.
surrendered to
Okay,
the
okay.
phenomena.
yeah, he's saying, I'm sorry for running.
Yeah.
Saying I shouldn't have ran.
I shouldn't have ran.
I like my ufologists that weren't caught.
But in classic alien fashion, the creature said, quote,
You don't understand. We are not here to hurt you.
Oh, thank
we
you.
are here to help you.
Oh, nice.
At that moment, though, Rosie leapt to attack. The dog, however, found nothing but air because the creature whiffed out of existence just before Rosie's jaws snapped down.
Whoa.
And yet the night still wasn't over.
Oh, my God.
Once Chris returned to his house, he lit a cigarette and looked out of the blinds, where he saw a creature much larger than the first slowly ambling towards the house.
And again, Daddy Chris, was not like upset, but Junior started shrieking.
Yeah.
Like, he
Junior
started-
and Chris saw this.
Oh, yes. And Junior, he started shrieking. He was so
Yeah, I'd be
fucking
scared.
scared because those guys are all straight up being like, it's a dang invasion.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're coming. You know, like, so they thought they were all about to die.
It's
It
like,
sounds like an invasion.
Sort of like signs, like think of it
Yeah.
that way.
Yes.
Chris and Junior therefore got in Chris's truck and drove 5 miles away to a hayfield where they spent the night in their vehicle.
Okay.
Now, this encounter got me to thinking about the whole phenomenon of aliens scaring the hell out of people, then telling them they didn't mean to scare them.
Yeah.
It also got me to thinking about how nobody who fervently believes in aliens has ever had the sort of encounter Chris Bledsoe claims to have had.
It's like when every single time I say, every time I've said the words, I'm not trying to be offensive here. And then you're just
gonna be
immediately
offensive.
highly
Immediately.
offensive.
Well,
Yeah.
every time I walk into a fucking place and they're like, it's here to rob it. And then I'm like, only of your Michelob Ultra.
Mhm. But I think it's quite possible, if unlikely, that extraterrestrial beings don't visit people like Henry and myself because we already believe
Well,
in
me.
aliens. Do you believe in aliens?
He's probably met like 5 of them he won't even know.
Yeah, that's right.
He's in North Hollywood bars all the time.
That's true.
If there are aliens drinking at a bar,
Mhm.
it's in North Hollywood.
Yep. Yeah. They love tiki.
They do.
But they don't visit any of us because we already believe.
Yeah.
And
We're
these-
whores for it.
Yeah, and these one-on-one contacts with people like Chris Bledsoe might be a sort of ill-advised grassroots campaign to get people to believe.
It's kind of like how
Interesting.
I had a friend who was gay, who one of his favorite things in the world was when he could basically suck off a guy who told him he was straight, the guy with a girlfriend or who was married with a wife. That was one of his favorite things.
That is not anywhere near.
No, let's Marcus. Marcus.
He was his favorite thing in the world.
How is it the same?
No, what I'm going to say is that is nowhere near like odd. in the gay community.
But I am wondering now, how is it the same?
The aliens want to convert. They're looking for conversions.
Right.
They're looking for the moment in a man's eyes when he was just like, I didn't believe in any of this. I haven't been to downtown Detroit before. Like, they want to see the
Right.
change. They want to see them go, oh, them circles big. Like, they
Yeah.
want to see it, and they're horny for it.
So you think you don't know you're gay until there's a man's mouth around your cock and you like it?
You know
You
what?
never thought about it before.
I don't know.
But I'm just saying, with aliens,
All right.
I'm just saying aliens like to make the conversion.
I think it's more like they try to find like one guy who is in a circle of people who also don't believe in aliens. So they
Right.
think if we convert this one guy, then he's going to go and tell all the other people
I
who
get
don't
it.
believe in aliens.
Is this why they edited you out of Ancient Aliens?
No, and then they come in, and then that like same guy, like in the other scenario, it's like if you try to suck off one guy within a friend group, and then you flip the whole group.
Interesting?
Yes. Can we take a quick break? I am dying. I can't even tell you how much.
Rise from your grave.
Now, both Chris and Junior were understandably shaken by the events of the night before, but as we've said, Junior was far more affected than Chris. Junior grappled with his experience for years, plagued with nightmares, and the eventual ridicule that came after their story became public knowledge.
May I ask, what was it? Because he just saw the little creatures, right? But why why was he so scared?
Let me put it this way. This might be too big of a call here, but I think this is a shitty part of the country in terms of
It's
ideas,
difficult.
like the idea of idea transfer and the people being open to things. And so I think that on some level, because they view all of them they were immediately as derided as consorting with the devil. The entire town said that they had brought in demonic energies and that they were basically cursing our town. Like that's what they thought. One level that they thought
Or
about.
at least the Pentecostals.
Yes,
thought
sure.
that.
That's one part.
I wouldn't say all 208,000 of them
No,
said
because that's the other. My pushback would be small towns also have the craziest ideas of all people.
But then
small town folks are like, that's just Sue. She wears her sandals on her head, and that she doesn't wear them on her feet.
It's not that small. Again, it's not that. It's 200,000
No, it's a
people.
city. I understand.
Yeah.
But it's more like the two of them too, both Chris and Junior, I would say took themselves as men fairly seriously.
Yeah.
And that Chris Bledsoe went through a lot of shit.
Right.
And his attitude might not have been super, like, the father, obviously, his brain was cracked open by this. And that ruined the family's life because he began becoming like a preacher. We're going to get into it. But his son just wanted nothing to do with this.
Gotcha.
And everybody was just like, you can't believe what Junior says because he loves little green men. Or like they were doing
it just discredited every single opinion he had on
everything. And they always brought it up when no one would ever let it go. And then it just destroyed their inner life too, destroyed their family because the wife wanted nothing to do with this. She was the truly like devout Pentecostal. And so when all of this shit happened, she was just like, she was not into it.
Not into it. Okay.
Well, Chris, though, he leaned in from the word go. And for his acceptance, he claims to have received a spiritual and emotional awakening for which he's never turned back. This, of course, is when the story starts getting more unbelievable. A couple of days after the first experience, Chris claims he had another in the same clearing where he'd encountered that first little small creature. On the second go, he said he found a brilliant light and he crawled towards it holding a powerful rifle.
Oh.
The light, however, was having none of it, and it electrocuted him with a, quote, painful, prolonged zap that forced him to crawl backward.
What the fuck?
Finally, he
But
was
again,
able...
if you're just watching this from the outside,
you're
see
laughing
this guy arguing, bro. What is it? Be like, bro.
Circles? I thought I knew you.
I understand the neighbors be like, Chris is at it again.
Yeah.
Finally, he was able to stand up, and two creatures similar to the one from before appeared and communicated the sort of thing most of us experience on our first or maybe second hallucinogenic trip.
Yeah, man, we're all just fucking part of the same system, dude.
We're all one, bro. We're all stardust.
Dude,
Love
bro.
Completely true.
It's real.
Chris said he was hit with a turn of phrase I quite like, because Chris is actually a pretty good writer at times.
He is.
He can definitely turn a phrase. He said he was hit with an obliterating epiphany.
Which is true, because that epiphany would destroy his regular life.
Interesting.
He was faced with the singular ultimate importance of all living beings. After feeling the oneness, he looked down at his rifle and thought,
What was this murdering tool in my hand?
So it really was the mushroom trip.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
This is a guy who
This
spent
is
his
the
whole life
ayahuasca
killing
moment.
hogs.
Yeah.
This is a man who's with his whole life was killing hogs, and then it turned into construction and all that kind of stuff. But he was just like, "What have I been doing?"
Yeah, he felt bad for every creature he'd ever killed. And he'd killed hundreds.
Well, a lot of hogs.
He just deals with a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say this to him, just being like, "It's not your fault."
It seems like
Chris,
some of it's his fault.
Chris, send this to Chris. It's not your fault.
Not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Well, what isn't?
All of this.
All of it.
His entire life?
It's not your fault.
Okay.
After the experience was over, Chris said he felt relief and understanding, and that all of the trauma in his life had been pointing him towards a, quote, benevolent end, and he felt a calling to convey to everyone on earth what he called an extraordinary mission of love.
I find it
Love
very
it.
interesting that this loving Father God, right? Loving Father God always chooses, like, he's always chooses a messenger and then fucks up that guy's life.
Yeah,
He
it's a part
chooses
of
a
the
messenger,
process.
and he's just like, "You're going out there. You're my boy."
Oh, no, he's a Job.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the first part of this story, right up until the point where Chris follows Rosie into the woods, this is a relatively plausible tale when you compare it to other group UFO encounters.
Yes.
Sure.
Multiple witnesses, same shapes that we see over and over again.
Circles.
But after Chris relates his further one-on-one experiences with alien beings, he develops something close to a messiah complex that his friends, family, and community were not ready for.
And this was not like a fun, nice Meher Baba style, like one love, like that version of it. It is a feverish, you don't understand what I know
Yeah.
style. What happened to him? Like
the I mentioned it before, Jacob's Ladder type vibe.
No.
similar.
Yeah.
Oh, so he really became a horrible dad.
He got really nuts. He got really nuts.
you.
Some people in Fayetteville looked at Chris with pity or scorn because they thought he'd lost his mind after, by the way, he lost yet another business.
Yes.
And most people thought that he concocted an elaborate fantasy to give his life purpose after his life had fallen apart. And hey, even if that was the case,
Right.
at least it's better than like joining a QAnon group.
There were
Absolutely.
men
yeah.
literally waiting outside of JFK Jr.'s grave, waiting for him to rise up, that are still like, Chris has really lost his mind. He really going nuts.
Right.
But the problem was that Chris's assertion that he was on a mission from aliens to deliver a message of love to humanity, the problem with that was that it kept the subject of aliens on the forefront of Junior's mind.
Yeah, it's their
And
whole life.
Yeah, and it only served to further traumatize this poor teenager.
Yeah.
Additionally, Chris's experiences put significant strain on his marriage to his heavily Pentecostal wife, Yvonne. See, Pentecostals are Christians of the type that believe Halloween to be an unholy holiday meant to encourage demon worship.
You got to do hallelujah parties. That's what we used to do. Hallelujah. We were broke growing up, so we had. But we would do. They would just cut out the sheets in our eyes. We were not little Klansmen. We were Holy Ghosts.
Holy Ghost.
And my mom, she would let us trick or treat because she knew I liked my candy. So she would let us trick or treat. Ben, you need your candy.
Oh.
So we'll be Holy Ghosts.
I love that. It was fat, then God. Like the first thing was, let's keep him fat.
I
like,
was
I love
skinny then.
Well, aliens are, of course, without a doubt included on the Pentecostal no devil list.
Yes.
Besides that, Yvonne immediately understood rule number 1 when it comes to alien encounters. UFOs ruin lives.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she would neither confirm nor deny Chris's story when asked about, well, what about that whole alien thing went on? Your husband get on it. She's like, I can neither confirm nor deny.
That
Okay.
has nothing to do with my philosophy.
Mm-hmm. And for
She didn't do the carve out in the wedding vows. If I ever got married, till death do us part, or until you want to start doing stand-up comedy, or until you meet a UFO.
It's really important.
That's it.
and for a time, she seemed to choose her church over her family, wacky as they may be.
Yeah.
Weirdly, though, in the weeks following Chris's initial encounters, he claims that his IBS, poof, disappeared completely.
That's amazing. He was literally scared shitless.
Yep. Got all out.
Wow.
But even though he could finally work, nobody would hire him because everyone thought he was crazy.
See, this is the problem. So now he's, everything is gone, right? And then he enters into if you listen to Reddit, the deeply lucrative world of UFO witnesses, which is, I still never understand because it just is bad.
No one
so
makes
now
money.
he's kind of thrown into this world.
I mean, my God, these people that appear on these alien TV shows, what are they paid?
$250 an episode.
I would say
Yeah.
at most $1,500.
Maybe.
No, it's $250 an episode.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I got paid.
I mean, you're as a talking head.
Yes.
But there are these guys probably will get a bump.
like the guys who are like long-time stays.
But maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
$1,500.
But it's not a lot.
No, it's definitely not. It's not rent.
It's non-union shoots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, odd things continued to occur, or so Chris claims. During his long, unendurable days of unemployment, Chris spent his time locked in his study trying to remember every detail of his experiences. At night,
Why?
because he's just trying to figure out
Buddy.
what happened.
Yeah.
And no one
Jeez.
will hire him. What else is he going to do?
Yeah,
I
just
guess
think.
so.
At night,
Whoa,
he's-
so that the statue, the thinker, is unemployed?
yeah,
He
that's
might
what
be.
it is. He's unemployed. Yeah, he's
Can't
some
believe I saw all those
unemployed
orbs.
asshole.
I can't believe I killed all those pigs.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't say what he's thinking about.
No.
Well, at night,
Maybe he has IBS.
Interesting.
The
Interesting.
thinker. He has to
You know,
sit there and
and
shit.
the
It would
burden.
probably make him the best philosopher of all time.
You know, they call him
What?
the stinker.
Nope.
Wow.
Not allowed.
Unbelievable. That's
Unbelievably.
racist against people
That's
with
not
IBS. That's a slur for people with IBS.
That is bad, yeah.
So you can't call little kids little stinkers?
Only
No,
if they stink.
You're a little,
No, you can call him little stinker.
Well, little stinker is always just me, shrunk down to child. When you saw me as a kid, I was a little stinker. With the ginger hair and
Yeah.
the. I mean, I'm like, is he trying to look
people's
at my
shins.
dress?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Get out of here, little stinker.
I was more of a ghoul.
Yep.
You
yeah.
were a ghoul, yeah.
Yeah, and as we know, you
Monster.
were a goon. Yeah.
No, not goon.
You know,
No,
you're
not
a goon.
I was not a goon.
As a child?
I was never
Oh,
a
I
goon.
could see you being a very goonish
Oh, he's
child.
I was always
yeah.
very proportionate. Very proportionate. I was a shy, quiet, weird, large boy.
It's Michael Myers.
Yeah. That's why I love Michael Myers and Jason and Leatherface.
Well, at night, Chris Bledsoe slept alone.
Yep.
Oh.
But it soon came to be that no one in the Bledsoe home was getting any rest, for the return of the owls was upon them.
The owls are the least of our worries.
I knew they'd come back.
Right, the little round eyes.
One night, wow,
They do.
another circle.
They're all, everything is a, I can point, that light's a circle. That light is a circle.
Your head's a circle.
Everything is a circle. This
No,
is not a circle.
that's an
no,
oval.
You again, you
Yeah.
never,
Different
you
type of
somehow-
circle.
It's not a circle. An oval is not a different type of circle.
If an oval was a circle, they call it a circle.
Well,
That's
guess
right.
what, man? Fuck them. Whoever them is.
That's great.
Or they.
Sure.
Well, one night, Chris heard what he called the loud, urgent, insistent hoot of an owl.
Good.
That's fun.
Like
That's an
that?
inside joke, multiple layers.
Yeah, thank you.
That goes out to everyone who's listening who's 55 years fine.
Yeah, you know, you like it.
But Chris was convinced that this hooting was a kind of communication.
It is a kind of communication.
One owl turned into two, then a three, then a four.
Oh, don't even get me to the
Hey,
lights.
Mr. Owl, if you're going to be there, yeah, tell me how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie?
You're crazy.
Damn you, Owl.
Until finally, an entire chorus of owls showed up hooting and hooting all night long, every night, preventing anyone from getting a good night's rest for the remainder of the winter.
He might need to pick up the shotgun again and just pepper him once and get him out of there.
I don't know.
You just get one of those the noisemakers that just
More
sound
noise?
that just
Again,
sound like a shotgun.
They're just owls.
They're
They
just-
should have a nice life.
No,
They
I
should be able
know.
to live
But they
their
also have to get.
Yeah, you scare them away though. You
Yeah.
don't kill them. You just
Yeah,
scare
throw a
them
pot
away.
at them.
Get a scare. Yes, sure. Absolutely. That counts.
But somewhere around this time, it's 2007, 2008, Chris and Yvonne scraped together enough cash to pay for internet service, even though Chris had begun selling off their possessions one by one to make ends meet because he was still out of work.
Oh,
And there's so much to the story. I even cut out the part where he's going through his possessions and he finds a CB radio and he turns it on and he like makes friends with a guy named 77.
Yeah, 7-7-7-7's got his buddy named E.T. and he's
Yeah.
been like, that's an incredible coincidence.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because he was so excited to meet a guy who said he was an alien.
And then they're just like,
Oh.
and then he just has these CB buddies, and there's only friends, and he doesn't talk to him about aliens at all. He just
No.
talks to him about like life,
trucks.
just
You know what's nice
mundane
about that,
things.
Marcus? You didn't cut it out. You give it a little redux.
Yep, that
That's
is
good.
true. I did reduce it.
It reminds me of that Will Ferrell movie, Everything Must Go.
Yes.
You ever see that?
Very
So
similar.
he's letting his life is for sale.
Things are not doing well economically.
man.
But once he was connected to the internet, Chris found a wealth of knowledge about UFO encounters.
It didn't help. It doesn't help.
This is good. No, this could be healthy,
well,
actually.
this was actually
right?
a great relief.
He's not alone.
Yeah, he's not alone. And he said that this entire time, he didn't go to the library to check out any books on UFOs for fear of the librarian's judgment.
They are probably a really judgy bunch.
He's really sensitive.
He's
Well,
very
also, they
sensitive.
probably are a very judgy bunch.
Now, around the time that Chris got internet service, he also...
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but so it was 2007 when he first got the internet?
2007 is a very reasonable time for a man in Fayetteville, North Carolina to get the internet.
It's
a long time.
He's a late adopter.
I'm from a town of 23,000.
not late adopter. This is around.
That's not true, Marcus.
No, this is around the time when the internet really started to proliferate. It wasn't until like the iPhone came out that like people at home really started to get like broadband service.
I don't know about that.
I grew up in a much smaller town than this.
Yeah, but you guys are coming from Wisconsin and New York and Florida and
I was still white trash.
And places like
what
Texas.
What about you? Texas? When did you get it?
Oh, we got it way early. We got it in like the mid-90s.
You lived in Lubbock, you lived outside of Lubbock.
I lived in Rochester.
In a smaller Lubbock was the
West Tex Connect.
I'm going to say
I did like the mom and pop internet places.
Yeah, of course, but Chris Bledsoe was just not ready for the World Wide Web.
Okay,
all right, and
now
he
could have gotten it earlier.
I think sure, but he also was selling the stools and faucets out of his own home in order for them to pay for things.
I would say people like Chris Bledsoe, 2007 is actually early adopter. Like a man who works, a man who half runs a hog farm and works in construction.
You're the one saying it's a town of 200,000 is so big.
I could see the emails they were about to get. They're all being like, I was a plumber from Michigan.
Well, by the sounds of it, we're going to get a bunch of handwritten letters.
No, I think from what the study of the internet says, it didn't really become widely proliferated until like 2010 to 2015.
All right. I'll take your fucking word for it.
No reason to fight on this. This ain't the hill I'm dying on.
No, I ain't dying on this hill. Now, around the time that Chris got internet service, he also experienced the beginnings of the History Channel's switchover from history to all aliens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He saw a show called The UFO Files, where he discovered such luminaries as Stanton Friedman, R.I.P.
Big ups!
Yes.
But more importantly, Chris also learned of the Mutual UFO Network, a.k.a. MUFON.
MUFON. Because they're all big.
Fucking pieces of shit. Some of them are actually very skinny because of lack of money for food.
Yeah.
Oh.
And also many wasting diseases.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Chris immediately began writing out a story to send to MUFON with the purpose of connecting with like minds and perhaps to obtain a full investigation on what happened to him. Now, it took weeks to get his story together, but after sending what I'd imagine was a far more coherent email than what MUFON was used to getting, MUFON responded the very next day, requesting an interview and a full investigation.
Yeah, they sent a guy named Steve.
We're going to pretend like MUFON wasn't a dude.
No.
Guy that gets this.
Well, this is actually when MUFON
How many
was
members
actually
of MUFON at their peak, do you think?
I would probably put it close to 20 to 30,000.
Really?
Across the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, because it was across the world. Maybe because it's like, again, it depends on what level. Investigators probably only like between 500 and 1,000, but just straight up like people to like that are in the organization, probably like 30,000. I think at its very peak. But the thing is, what's so hard as an investigator is that you arrive, right? Obviously, you got the lanyard, and everyone's impressed.
You're official.
Yeah,
and the worst, truly, the hardest part,
right? All the girls bake their best pies to see if they can try to marry you.
You know how many times? Because Steve rolls in. He asks you about your orbs, you know what I mean? You're like, ooh, Steve. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to have to take a look at the telemetry of your orbs in a private session. And then she's just like, yeah, Steve, I guess I can show you some orbs in this back house of mine. My husband won't be home for over 15 minutes. I bet you'll have plenty of time.
Yeah, more than, I mean, what are we going to do with the other 13 minutes?
I can't seem to fit my protractor in your vagina.
Yeah, more like MUFON this dick.
Yeah,
MUFON Triple X,
This ain't MUFON.
This ain't MUFON. It certainly is not MUFON. Well, there's a lot of sex happening.
It's certainly no fun.
Now, Yvonne wasn't so sold on bringing a bunch of UFO weirdos into their life, so Chris initially declined after his wife said no.
Okay.
But later that month, as Yvonne and their 4 children were driving home from church, a cone-shaped, color-shifting UFO appeared before them and hovered in front of their car. Yvonne was therefore sold on the whole thing, and after she told Chris what she'd seen, she relaxed into what Chris called a, quote, helpless acceptance. Which I think is a perfect way to describe what a lot of these people seem to kind of convey after they have an intense UFO experience.
Yeah, like now I have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Now, MUFON was extraordinarily interested in Chris's story, and they kept calling to sell him on the idea of an investigation. But even though Yvonne was finally on his side, Chris was worried that a MUFON investigation might end their marriage for good.
Yeah.
Right.
Legitimate fear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Might as well get Joey Greco from Cheaters out there.
You just don't need anybody up in there.
No.
Not with these lanyards. Not with the fear it installs. And
This seems to be a very fragile situation at this point. But at the same time, Chris also felt that MUFON might be the only way forward to come to terms with what happened, as he put it.
Wow.
And he thought that maybe having some sort of official process that might give some structure and some sense to his experiences.
And just somebody else to say, you know what, buddy? It's possible.
It's possible.
In keeping with the theme, though, MUFON only made things worse.
Yeah.
Great. Good. Thank you, MUFON.
Now, MUFON sent out an investigator named Steve.
Hi.
I don't like that name for an investigator.
Hi.
No, Steve's the captain of the quarterback team.
But then what, you would want my name to be something else?
I want a John.
I'm John. John sounds like a guy I
John's
believe in.
good. I go with a Lloyd. I want a nice, quirky Lloyd.
Lloyd. That's
An
a good
Ernie.
An Ernie, yes, an Ernie, a Lloyd, just someone whose hair is befuddled a little bit, just a little weird.
He's too into UFOs to care about hygiene.
Yes, exactly.
What do you think about a Lawrence?
That works. It works.
I'm fine with Larry.
I would see the little glasses much more of a of an education type background.
I want a smart Larry, not a leisure shoot Larry.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one thing we do know for a fact, can't be Italian.
No.
Now,
I don't know why.
Absolutely not. No, I don't want. Too many hands.
Yeah.
Now, Steve was sent out to Chris's place in Fayetteville to begin the interview process. But once Steve interviewed Yvonne, he found that she had actually experienced far more high strangeness than what she'd even told her own family. She said that she'd had her own experience with orbs and shadow people in her kitchen the previous Christmas, but had kept the entire experience to herself because she didn't want to further traumatize her son.
Yeah.
This, however, had little bearing on how the Bledsoes would soon be portrayed.
Yeah, they got him good.
Now, as I said, MUFON had a show cooking on the Discovery Channel called UFOs
Over!
It's the dumbest title ever, but okay.
And there's an exclamation point at the end of it.
UFOs over!
Okay, great.
And they wanted to use the Fayetteville incident as the pilot episode.
Yeah.
Now, Yvonne, of course, didn't want to participate, but Steve from MUFON suggested that they could have their faces blurred and their voices distorted for anonymity's sake.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, the executives involved at the Discovery Channel didn't believe Chris's story, and their perspective won out in the end.
Oh,
or,
no.
quote unquote,
Quote,
their
unquote.
perspective. Yeah, may not be, maybe, may not be. Definitely blamed on the executives.
Yes.
So it sounds like they got roasted.
Yes.
Chris was portrayed as a hoaxer, but that wasn't even the worst part. Because, it's a town of 200,000, but it's not like there were a ton of people in Fayetteville having UFO experiences. There was no flap here, in other words.
Yes.
And the episode itself was called The Fayetteville Incident.
So everybody knew who the fuck it was that they were talking
Yeah,
about.
and everybody in
So
Fayetteville
they did blur
watched
their...
it.
I see.
Yeah, they blurred it, but it's just like, no, we know who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not
Because especially as soon as you cut to him going, and then I saw the orbs.
You
They're like,
know.
even
yeah,
if it's
that's
distorted, the
fucking Chris.
case and the Bledsoes, they're already known.
Yeah. Sounds like Chris, yeah.
Yeah, they were already kind of known as local characters.
Right.
Everyone knows this story already. So the blurring of the faces and the distorting of the voices didn't do anything to hide the Bledsoes' identities. And the program, in fact, only gave people more ammunition to mock them.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the Bledsoe family seemed haunted both by the memories of what had happened and by seemingly paranormal entities. Although it could also be that this entire family was simply having a collective psychological breakdown.
If the UFOs were real, which I still am going to hold out and say yes, I could see why it could shatter the very fabric of your reality.
But haven't we learned that humans are the true evil in all of this?
Yes, because the phenomena is neutral, dog.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everyone had horrific nightmares every night. Junior ran away twice.
Oh.
Made it all the way to California one time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
And then ran out of money immediately. And they had to send him money to come back.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Yvonne got so spooked one night after supposedly seeing shadow men in their backyard that she ran through a bunch of wrought iron outdoor furniture and gashed up her legs.
Yeah, they're all fucked up.
Now, these shadow people only appeared at night at first, but soon they started seeing them during the day. They said they were translucent.
Yeah,
And
like Predator.
Yeah. And the Bledsoes once claimed to see an 8-foot-tall translucent figure in the yard. And an old truck from the 1960s, the particularly loud kind, once drove down their driveway making no sound whatsoever.
The sound is thinner here.
Whoa.
What's that from?
I said it.
No.
You just said it. I'll give you. You want some movie quotes?
I like it. That was a pretty good one.
Don't go down that road now.
You don't want to go down that road. But just when things were starting to calm down, the Discovery Channel re-aired
UFOs over Earth
in spring of 2010. The
These
ridicule
producers are fucking assholes.
Technically, they're just hunting for residuals.
I know.
Well, they don't know.
They don't know. They don't fucking know it's destroying this bumpkin's life. They have no clue.
It's some fucking program director at Discovery Channel trying to fill a 3-hour block and saying, like,
I'm saying the executives that change the narrative.
Oh, yeah, of
it's
course.
also from a perspective of a consumer. I want it to be real. I don't want it to be debunked. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Well, and then how
the
many
executives were wrong.
But how many times have we been explicitly asked for a comedy?
I know.
Fucking true crime / paranormal show, and then we shoot a fucking thing that has been explicitly asked for, and then you give it to an executive, and they're like, "What are all these jokes?"
But you want to know?
You know that how many times we have done that as men?
If you want to feel better, most of those people are now unemployed.
that's true.
I actually think the executives are doing great.
Okay.
Well, the ridicule returned worse than ever, and the nightmares grew in strength. But then, after years of what was nothing but bad weirdness, Chris claimed to have been given a reprieve. And here's where shit takes a massive left turn into something beyond a UFO encounter or paranormal experience. It becomes something much more religious.
Yes.
Okay.
From the years 2007 to 2012, his life was an absolute total fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Everything fell apart. But I am going to say it didn't get better. Even when it quote unquote got better.
I will say maybe he needs a little religion.
I don't know.
Maybe some kind of
He had religion.
Yeah,
He
maybe
did.
he needs something has to change.
Well, Chris claimed to have been visited by an angelic being that he called the Lady.
The lady.
Who told him that all of his trials and tribulations were merely prelude to his ultimate purpose.
Always. He also gave him a little chihuahua creature that had no head, and it was all prickly.
Chihuahua, and I come from Mexico.
It's very funny.
You got to check out the Chihuahua songs.
He gave him this like.
I'm no bigger than a toe. You can put me in a cup. You can put me in a bag. You can put me in a shoe. I'm a cha-cha-cha-chihuahua. God. That's just some of the lyrics, but
Just to be in there.
It's not really perfect lyrics,
Just
but
to be in that life.
yeah.
But no, he gave
bigger than a cup. That's true. That's what they say. Anyway, go on, continue.
This creature gave him it woke him up and going, "Arise!" And this creature gave him a chihuahua. It was this creature. It was a shape of a small chihuahua without a head or a tail, and it had prickling
It's a
fur.
lump.
It
It's a
squirmed. It was like, oh, it had no limbs or whatever, go back and forth. And they said like he was just like, "I don't want this. I don't want it," because they had quills of a hedgehog. He kept hurting his hands, and he was just like, "I don't want it." And they're like, "No, pick it up. Pick it up, keep it, pick it up." And then he picked it up and they were like, "What the fuck is this?" He's like, "What is it?" And they're like, "That's a symbol of humankind. The directionless creature that is humankind."
He ain't wrong.
That must be taken care of. Yeah.
And then he brought up that little monster chihuahua alien thing, and it never comes up again.
Never comes up again. Well,
Interesting.
they gave it to him and he put it in his dog kennel. And I don't know, maybe
dog
one of
ate
the
it.
dogs
Maybe
ate
dog
it.
fucking ate it.
Wow, the dog ate it.
Diamond, did you eat my alien?
Oh my God, Rover, come on.
Rise from your grave.
Well, from what the lady told him, Chris had made an agreement.
Can you also, properly? The lady.
All right.
Okay, I'm not going to do that.
All right, it's fine.
No, it's kind of triggering. I feel like I'm supposed to give money to a telethon or something.
Well, the lady told him that Chris had made an agreement to spread the word of love and oneness around the world. And the lady said that agreement must be kept.
I don't know why. Well, because he said he was been trying to take pictures of it. He's been trying to take pictures of the phenomena. He's seeing orbs. And he said the main issue is that he went to go take pictures and they would all disappear. And the lady promised him that if you do what we ask of you, you'll be
feminine
able
voice,
to take as many pictures of us as you want. And he was just like,
Yeah.
that is incredible.
Well, that's
You
great.
know, most women are a pile of circles.
Well, I suppose.
So she also said that everything that had happened to Chris and his family, the orbs, the lights, the nightmares, the shadow men, That'd been all her.
That's me.
She'd done all that.
I did it.
Why'd you do that?
They were all doing her bidding.
To fuck with you.
Thank you.
She told Chris that he had to keep talking about his encounters loudly and often, and if he did so, the lady would protect him, and that he'd be told everything in time. And she also told him, as Henry said, that they would eventually allow him to take pictures and film the orbs. And if you look at his YouTube page,
He can now.
he can now. He does it all the time.
Okay.
And he says, thank you to the lady.
We showed the video again on the stream, and that was an orb.
I just don't know why it was Chris Bledsoe out of everyone on earth.
What do you
He's
mean?
the man that's
Why
tasked
was
with
it
getting...
Mary and Joseph? A simple man, a simple man.
But they seem to have their shit together.
No, they didn't.
No, I
They
mean,
didn't even have a fucking house. She was 9 months pregnant. She was homeless.
I
It's
thought they-
allegorical.
No, I thought they were just like on the road and shit.
You think people on the road have their lives together?
yeah.
They're
What
either,
are you talking about?
They're jugglers, juggalos,
Comedians? Rock stars?
lives together.
yeah, salesmen?
When you think of
saleswomen?
when I think of a comedian, I think of, oh, that guy has his life together.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at me.
Truckers, what about your dad?
Points are being proven, and I'm going to claim victory. I'm just going to claim victory.
Now, a few days after Chris's first experience with the lady, he got a call from MUFON, North Carolina. They'd invited him to speak at a conference in Asheville, and despite his checkered past with MUFON,
Yeah.
Chris agreed to attend.
At least somebody wants me somewhere.
Yeah, that is nice.
But as he told his story about the orbs, the audience began mumbling and whispering.
Orbs are stupid.
What the fuck, man?
Fucking piece of shit.
It's supposed to be a safe space.
Yeah, and
Orbs, more like borbs.
Orbs, that's real clever there, Peggy.
They started heckling him.
yeah.
They started just fucking full on heckling him.
Oh, he
suck.
can't. Honestly, he can't deal with that.
No.
Suddenly, Chris found himself talking about his new experiences, about how, quote unquote, this lady had just appeared and told him all sorts of important shit that everyone needed to hear.
He was freestyling.
He was freestyling.
Oh, no.
He then just blurted out that there was going to be a 6.8 magnitude earthquake in Baja, California on September 23rd, 2012. And then in fall of that year, the elections in New York would be disrupted.
Yep.
And?
Now, of course, the earthquake did not happen.
No.
But the New York prediction was not far off.
It was
Okay,
not far off.
Wait, he predicted a contentious political election?
No, listen.
No. Listen to this, Ben. Now, the 2012 race, that went off without a hitch.
I mean, the one he said.
The one he
but-
said. But
Was that
But-
Patterson had to take over?
when it came to the New York City mayoral elections of 2013, I got two words for you. Sidney Leathers.
He knew somewhere those orbs told him Elliot Spitzer was going to be
No, Anthony
super
Weiner.
horny.
Nope, not Elliot Spitzer,
Anthony
my
Weiner.
friend. This is
Anthony
2013. This was the election in which Representative Anthony Weiner.
yeah,
This is the
Wiener.
Great documentary. It's literally called Wiener.
Yeah.
It's a
one-
must watch.
I remember that one.
One of the best political documentaries ever made.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's claiming that he created that scenario,
He
so
did-
then
he
we got the
called
worst
it.
mayor in New York City
No,
history.
no, he didn't-
Followed by the second worst.
No, he didn't know it. I would argue the second worst followed by the worst, but
Okay, sure, yeah.
yeah. But 2013, that was the election in which Representative Anthony Weiner, front runner for mayor that year, was exposed as a sexting cheater going under the name Carlos Danger.
Yep.
Yes.
His sextee, Sidney Leathers.
This was his comeback, by the way.
yeah. And Sidney Leathers, by the way, that was her real name.
Whoa.
And
Yeah.
she had a small art. She would do a weekly article, a weekly post in the New York Post
Yeah.
about love and relationships.
Yeah, and she's sexy and fun.
Yeah. Now, that, of course, destroyed his campaign and handed the election to Bill de Blasio, or as Ben likes to call him, Bill de Blabio.
There you go. I got him good. You want some French fries? Have you seen the French fries video? It was also him taking a picture when he was rock hard with his infant baby.
Yeah, the baby in the car. That was the main
He's a
one.
registered sex offender now.
I knew he was gonna take what I call a pokey baby picture.
But more
Oh.
importantly, Weiner's sexting addiction continued and led to the confiscation of his wife's laptop after it was found that Weiner was sexting minors. Weiner's wife, of course, was Huma Abedin,
Yes.
top advisor to Hillary Clinton. It was during the investigation into Weiner's malfeasance that the infamous Clinton emails were discovered, and those emails, as we all remember, derailed Hillary's campaign in the last days of the 2016 election. So, while the 2012 New York City elections were not disrupted, the 2013 mayoral elections were quite disruptive indeed.
And now
And-
maybe you can believe the story about how circles are important.
And to that point, James Comey, Bill de Blasio, both 6'7", tall grays, perhaps.
Fascinating.
Fascinating indeed. Are you saying that because they have gray hair?
No, perhaps they are indeed alien entities
They're
that came to destabilize the entire nation.
Yes.
I'm just saying their pubic hair is gray as a fox.
No, he did not specifically take credit for, nor did he specifically predict any of this.
You
I'm
extrapolated.
I'm saying
He's
You
extrapolating.
I'm
He
saying
made that up.
I'm extrapolating and saying it's interesting.
See, I know.
Is it not?
It is.
Now, it's around the time that Chris made these two predictions that he pivoted when it came to what he thought the orbs and the lady really were. And oddly, this pivot came as a result of MUFON. Through friends at MUFON, Chris was put into contact with a professor of religious studies at UNC Wilmington named Diana Pasolka. Using the fact that popular depictions of robed winged angels have nothing in common with the Bible's actual description of angels, this tenured professor told Chris that he had not been seeing UFOs at all over the years, but rather angels in their true form.
Is this fucking hanging out with like Marianne Williamson?
She'll punch your window out.
Oh, you're seeing an angel out there.
No, right there. That's an angel.
It's just so funny that like studying the paranormal is considered out of bounds for the education system, but they're just like, religion, have all at it.
You can count an angel on the head of the pin or whatever garbage, and you're just being like, you went to 9 years of school for this.
I mean, the study of religion is also the study of history.
Yes,
but when
of
you start
course.
telling a man
that you're seeing angels,
that's when it kind of dips into maybe you shouldn't be tenured. But
in
she was
some ways,
tenured.
again, as we talked. Oh my goodness, we have a great episode coming up for you all, very in the near future. Here, I don't want to spoil it. But when you talk about history, you can look through many lenses.
Oh yes.
Now, Chris immediately believed this assertion, not least because it made everything a lot less frightening. It seemed to everything sort of made a little bit more sense. He could in a religious
so he liked the angel
He loved the angel because it fit into the box.
Yes.
That he had in his head that it was already there.
Okay.
But the most positive effect was that Chris's son Junior also found comfort because it fit into his box, into his understanding of the world. Now, Chris and Diana, the biblical scholar, compared Chris's encounters to her own research, where Diana found parallels between Chris's life and those of medieval saints and mystics. But more important than their academic collaboration was the fact that Diana had connections in Hollywood. And she figured that his story would make a great movie.
Good Lord, every predator of every kind surrounding them immediately.
Yeah. Seriously.
But here's what's interesting. She did not have bullshit connections.
No.
She actually knew Chad and Carrie Hayes, the men who wrote the screenplay that introduced the world's first Christian superheroes. They wrote The Conjuring.
Which is there's a companion piece to The Conjuring. It makes a lot of sense.
I thought about it like that, but yeah, Conjuring's
It is.
great. I love
They're
that
religious superheroes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
See, since The Conjuring had done so much to change popular opinion about evil spirits and such, elevating Ed and Lorraine Warren to dangerous heights of respectability that they do not deserve.
And not even respectability, also physical attractiveness.
Well, that is true. And
Patrick Wilson is supposed to be Ed Warren. It's incredible. I will say, the old Chris Bledsoe, oftentimes he does describe himself as like, I started to fashion a mustache, and a lot of people said when they stopped me, I look like a young Mike Ditka.
Young Mike Ditka.
And he said that like bragging.
Oh, good for him. I mean, they said young.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean here, but the picture I saw of him when you were watching the YouTube, he looks like an old Henry Lee Lucas.
He's just not looking good. He's
not looking good at all.
But he's gone through a lot. But this is a picture of young Mike Ditka. Look at this. This is Mike Ditka.
I mean, honestly, not that bad.
I mean, if you like a ham-based man.
A lot of people do, thank God.
Well, this woman figured, this religious scholar, she figured that the Hayes brothers could do the same thing in changing people's conceptions of UFOs into something more Christian, just like, they changed popular conceptions about evil spirits. Now, Chris decided to prey on it, but since he didn't receive a sign, he declined to work on the screenplay, working title Seraphim.
Oh.
But soon after he said no, the oak tree on his property spontaneously burst into flames.
Yeah.
That's cool.
His agent did that.
Yeah, probably. Don't mess with Hollywood.
No accelerant was found, and there was no evidence of lightning. So Chris took this as a definite sign. Work on the movie. Make the movie.
The flaming bush. I mean, this guy, he's living the biblical life.
He is. So Diana and Chris worked up a spec script that was sent to the Hayes brothers.
Written by Chris Bledsoe and a theological professor.
And they had a meeting with the screenwriters. Chris felt it went pretty good.
It went well. They gave me water.
I mean, you always feel they go fairly well.
You
for the
know,
most
I
part.
will say is, three men who have been in a lot of meetings don't ever think that it went well.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Because it never does.
No, they seem
because
to-
if it does, you find out that day.
Yeah.
It's immediately you find out.
Yeah, they seem to really hate us, loathe us almost.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We ended up arguing with them. Yeah.
I have yelled. I did just recently say, I don't need this.
Yeah.
To someone, yeah.
The project never got off the ground, and Seraphim moved to the reject pile.
Oh.
But when it came to connections, Chris Bledsoe's most impressive were not within Hollywood, but within the government itself. And this shit is real.
That's cool.
Around 2015, Chris became connected to the CIA after he foiled a bona fide assassination plot of a world leader.
I have no fucking clue if this is remotely real, but he does have strange connections.
He does have connections to the CIA. The assassination plot, not sure.
I don't know. Jim Semivan, who was the CIA dude, he was the director of operations. He got fully involved with Chris Bledsoe for some reason. Same thing with John Alexander, was the guy that was in charge of the program that would then be go on The Men Who Stare at Ghosts. We talked a little bit about this. Like the U.S. sponsored search for remote viewing technology. Like, how do we make it for us? How do we do it in a predictable way? But these guys got involved with Chris Bledsoe. They heard his story. I think they commiserated with the fear of it mixed with the interest in the topic. But I start to kind of get into this area where, like, was this man experimented on by the government? Like, was this man literally he had some weird relationship with these orbs? We now know, no matter what you think about these recent whistleblower allegations, the government put real money into figuring out some of this horseshit. So when they look at this guy that they might have gotten an accidental connect to, all of a sudden he's saying, I can control these orbs. They go to it. Both Jim Semivan and John Alexander had full-on visitations at Chris Bledsoe's property. They saw UFOs in the sky that Chris Bledsoe say we're going to show up. And they maybe they think in some way he can control, he has some kind of communication with these orbs.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to them.
And if you're the government, there's no harm, no foul. No one, worst case, no one believes them.
Oh yeah, and no one
So
believes
the
Jim Semivan or John Alexander. They're all professional mystery men.
Right. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Now, Chris said that in 2015, and this is concerning the assassination plot.
Just 8 years after he got the internet.
He and an unnamed ufologist were standing near the oak tree that had spontaneously burst into flames.
Name's Steve.
Yeah, just hanging out by the old burnt down oak tree.
Suddenly, from the tree came the disembodied voice of one of Junior's friends who happened to be dead.
He was dead. Dude.
Happened to be dead.
Yeah.
The voice said,
Pope, danger, heads up, danger, Pope, Warden Pope, Philadelphia.
So you don't get any.
It wasn't a dead 1920s newsman.
Pope, danger, Warden Pope.
Pope, danger,
Pope, danger, heads up, danger, Pope, Warden Pope,
That's a little closer to North Carolina.
Philadelphia.
So Philadelphia, the Pope is going to be shot in the head.
No, we don't know what
And
he's.
we don't know yet. Now, this caught Chris's attention because Pope Francis was indeed due to visit Philadelphia soon.
My God, let me go to the Pope's calendar. He's going to be in Philadelphia this afternoon.
So, Chris called up his friend Larry Frascella and held the phone to the tree.
This is real. Yeah, he said, this is what he
He
says.
just called his only Catholic friend.
Yes.
Suddenly, Larry heard the tree say,
Congress, hit.
and so Larry told Chris to come to Philadelphia immediately. So they could work together to prevent the assassination of Pope Francis.
I don't know if
This
this
is why
is real.
you never know what people are talking about at the booth next to you at a Denny's.
No, yeah, dude.
You
ever
just
been
never
into
know.
In the Delta Lounge where they have the call boxes, I could definitely see Larry Frascella. And they're being like, we got to get to Philadelphia right now to save the Pope.
It sounds fun. I mean, at this point, is it fair to say Chris is a little happier, though? Because he's on a path. He's got something to do.
I don't know how to
much
put it.
happier.
He's activated.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just to drive the point home, right before Chris left, the tree said,
Help, 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 Chris. The Pope. We need him. We need him.
Yeah. Well, Why don't we just muffle up the tree a little bit? Put some sand here on the tree.
Yeah. There's a squirrel in my balls.
Yeah, you're a tree.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a tree. So, yeah, that explains it.
I like balls.
Well, Chris and Yvonne took the next flight to Philadelphia, rushing because Chris and Larry had only 3 days to solve the assassination plot and save the Pope's life.
This is the movie. This is the movie.
Actually, this is the story that Chris opens the book with.
Yes.
Yeah. They stayed at Larry's house, where, much to their surprise, they also found Robert Bigelow.
Didn't think I'd be here, huh?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Robert Bigelow just hanging out at Larry's place.
Well, Larry was connected to the CIA.
Yeah, he was.
That's what they said.
Oh, yeah. But in the end, it seemed like all it took to save the Pope was a call from Larry to his connections in the CIA.
So this is what they literally thought happened, is that he called the Pope. The CIA. Well, he called the CIA.
Yeah.
CIA
Who called the Pope. And then they...
Or the Pope's men.
It's possible.
His
all the
secretary. Yeah, sure.
Possible.
And then they changed the Pope's itinerary in Philadelphia.
I mean, that's what got Reagan shot. They just put his itinerary there in the public. You can know exactly where he was. So maybe that did happen. Maybe it did happen. I don't know.
Just the idea that they all went,
that's the most plausible thing yet, though.
But can you imagine them
take a
stepping
different
like,
street?
But Papa Franco, we have to come. Larry and Chris just called and said there's problems in Philadelphia.
No, the CIA just called.
Well, they did. Well, from what Chris said, they tightened up security and the assassination plot was supposedly prevented.
And then they say that they, quote unquote, arrested a guy later on who was supposedly planning, because then he went, the guy, Larry, he's just like, oh, the CIA, we have to warn the CIA.
Yeah.
But then he called his buddy John Alexander, the remote viewing guy from the United States government, who then put Chris into a remote viewing process where he talked him back, and he was just like, all right, I'm seeing water, boat ramp. And so they had to go and find out, like, it was going to happen on a boat ramp, and they're like, he's not coming by boat, he's coming by plane, it's the Pope.
And then the other guy say like water, or say what?
Yeah, he was
waves?
like waves. Oh yeah, because then the guy, he's like, John Alexander was like, all right, let me double check this with one of my psychics. So then they called another psychic up on the phone, put him on speakerphone, ran the same remote viewing exercises with the other psychic via phone.
Okay.
And the other guy was like, yeah, waves. Seeing waves.
Boat ramps, waves, it all checks out.
And how did that help?
We don't know, because the assassination never happened. What if the people that were going to assassinate the Pope were coming via water?
Interesting. Philadelphia is on the water.
It could have been
On the water.
birds that could have gotten inside of the engines of the Pope's plane.
Absolutely. And don't forget,
Owls.
could be owls. Absolutely. And Pope
Balls.
Francis, very controversial. A lot of people thought he was loosening up the Catholic Church, being more open-minded.
And guess what? He didn't.
Well, you know,
There's a lot of talking.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
there's only so much you can do. I mean,
Yeah. But it was through this adventure that Chris became friends with Jim Semivan, the CIA operative. You may also know Jim Semivan as the co-founder of the always awkwardly named To the Stars Academy.
That's why we in the biz called the TTSA.
The TTSA.
it literally sounds like a child sex trafficking. It's to the stars.
We ship children directly.
To the stars.
And the public face of the two. That's, God damn it! It's so hard to fucking
It's
refer
not
to it.
good,
You
I
can't.
know.
It's horrible.
TTSA. TTSA.
The TTSA. The public face of the TTSA is none other, of course, than Tom DeLonge.
So he got to hang out with Tom
of
DeLonge.
Blink
Tom
182.
DeShlong, baby.
And supposedly Chris and Tom DeLonge had a meeting.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris claimed that he'd collected some drippings that had oozed off the orbs, which is something that he had not mentioned once during the entirety of his book.
There was information
This is why I've been saving all my liquid shits from the Flamin' Hot to read
Keep the
from the
drippings.
Flamin' because I'm going to send it to him.
But it's because there's certain things he was not allowed to reveal because of his military friends.
But he revealed it in the book.
He revealed it to Tom DeLonge.
He not only revealed it to Tom DeLonge, he revealed it in the book.
This is top secret, unless, of course, the man's in Blink 182. Blink 181? Blink 182?
That
Oh, my
has
goodness.
happened like 5 times now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But from what Chris said, Tom DeLonge took the goo to run tests, but the goo...
Oh, I'm going to run tests on this right now.
Hey, Mark, come over here. Yes, I'm Mark Hoppus. I'm JFK.
Oh, I'm Mark Hoppus.
I'm JFK. I like it. I like it.
Hey, Mark, take a look at this.
You're just jealous that a rock star also got into ufology and went back to being a rock star.
Because he could.
Yeah, that is because is that your Blink 182?
I know that there's something in these drippings.
It's not wrong.
It sounds like an orphan, like a British Orphan Boys version of Blink-182.
That's kinda-
Mister, will you please give me some porridge?
That song about the boy's suicide is sad.
Adam's song.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Completely off the rails. This episode's like way longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Goo never returned.
Oh, wow. I can't believe it.
Yeah, Tom DeLonge never returned the goo.
The
Honestly,
key is
come on.
never return that goo.
Thank you, Tom.
But apparently it was classified. That's what he was
goo
told.
was-
The goo got classified.
The goo
Goo's
got classified.
Goo's classified.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where Chris Bledsoe stands today.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, because he is posting videos.
Yeah,
He's showing his orbs.
Yeah.
And he did his best to warn us about COVID.
he did.
Great.
He had some apocalyptic visions in Easter 2019, and he said, like, there's a plague a-coming.
Well, he went
Honestly,
straight
that's
to
incredible.
He went straight to Coast to Coast AM. And that's what he says in his interviews. It's like, and I tried to get the word out. I went on several YouTube specials to tell the world about COVID-19.
I'm going to start following him just in case. You never know.
You never know.
God works in mysterious ways
Every day.
and uses strange messengers.
He does.
In the end, though, Chris Bledsoe seems to be another man who had a highly compelling UFO experience, but mussed it up with grandiose notions of saving the world and embellished stories of foiling assassination attempts on world leaders. But on the other hand,
Yes, indeed.
from what we know about alien encounters, a large percentage of abductees say that their alien abductors send them off with a mission to spread a message of love and peace, but most don't actually do anything about it. Therefore, if you can say anything about Chris Bledsoe, it's that he, at the very least, puts his money where his mouth is when it comes to fulfilling the mission he was supposedly given during his alleged alien experience.
I'm going to say, after this entire fantastic journey, I've come to respect Mr. Bledsoe.
In many ways, I do. I think he's been
Yes.
through a lot. And, he's like, and I guess they say
You're still going to do it like that, though.
in the end,
I just said I respect him, and you made him dumber.
in the
You did a
end,
dumber
I
impression.
did it all
For the
for the
nookie.
circles.
For the circle.
I thought you were
There
going
we
to say
go.
you
Very good.
didn't do it all for the nookie.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
No,
Oh, yeah,
a
also-
matter of fact, my nookie levels have significantly decreased.
No decrease. Yeah, well, that happens. All right. Well, that was actually very interesting. So
That was
thank you
very
guys
interesting.
exposing recent UFO.
It's out there.
Theory, and of course, again, his YouTube page is active.
It's out there.
And,
Compelling orbs. There's some compelling orbs.
There
there.
are
very
And I
compelling
am a connoisseur of compelling orbs.
Yes, I do think one of the videos that you showed again on the stream was a fly. Another one was, I think it was just a woman's probably boob.
You're being ignorant.
But there were a couple.
You're being ignorant.
There were a few though that you do have to say, what is that?
Yep. That's what I do every day.
Absolutely.
It's the first thing I say as soon as I wake up. What is that?
That's a hernia.
Guys,
That's a hernia, my friend.
we got one more episode next week that we're going to do. We're keeping it light just because we're going into a little bit of vacation. We're going on vacation because we do it every summer.
We
We're
still
gonna take a
got
summer.
content
We
coming.
got honestly an extremely special episode is going to be coming out during our break. So you're not getting a break from us. We're getting a break from us.
Yes.
From us. It's going to end with a great lesson about why drinking and driving is dangerous.
Yes, it's true.
Special episode.
Special episode.
Don't do drugs.
Don't.
Jesse Spano.
She's so excited and she just can't hide it. But
Absolutely.
guys, check us out at November 4th at the Palace Theater for Last Podcast on the Left Live. We're doing the Mamma Mia Here We Go Again tour for one last time.
Is November
Come check
next
it-
month?
No. October.
Today's September.
No, actually,
It's
no,
October.
September's the
What-
next
what
month.
is today?
We're a long ways from
good.
November.
I was just like,
Yeah,
I gotta
we got time. No, we got time.
I've been thinking about some of the jokes again. It's a very funny show.
I
was.
remember
It is.
distantly.
It is.
It is.
Yes, it is. We're still living in the tour for 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Been living in this tour.
And then also, come and check us out. The entire Last Podcast Network, it's going to be in San Diego at the
Yes.
Balboa on October 20th. Come check it out. We're gonna yell, we're gonna laugh, and more importantly, we're gonna learn.
We are going to learn. Thank you all so much for supporting everything that we do here on the Last Podcast Network. Marcus, did you have anything?
Actually, I do.
Oh.
A friend of mine, one of my oldest friends, works over at Grindr. Grindr, if the employees are trying.
Grindr?
Grindr, yeah.
Yeah.
The gay sex app.
Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, I was making sure. Good.
Yeah, the people over at Grindr are trying to unionize right now, and the brass at Grindr are using some bullshit union-busting methods right now.
Okay.
Giving everyone like 2 weeks to relocate across the country, or else they're going to get fired because they don't want to do remote work. They're doing
Remember when the Onion did that?
They're doing some
Yeah,
real,
that worked out great.
doing some real bullshit union-busting techniques. So if you want to support Grindr workers, if you want to support workers in general, if you want to support unions, because in the new tech age, unions are absolutely necessary for all you people out there. You can go to grinderunited.org/join.html and sign the petition.
Sign for the petition and stay for the sex. Have a great time with it. Enjoy your life.
And for those of you that are Patreon listeners, what I would like for you to do is that for our break, we've been asked a couple times to do this again. We did it a couple years ago now. I think it was when were we last? It was like 2019 that we did this. So we're doing another Q&A episode for Last Podcast on the Left. So if you're a Patreon user or you just email Side Stories, lpotl@gmail.com, we're going to choose good questions from there, but we're looking to Patreon. Ask us anything. The one thing I would really say is that we've covered our origin story in the last one. So like, what's something else?
Yeah.
Let us know what you want.
Yeah, you guys know how we all met. Yeah,
Ask about our process. All that kind
I'm
of shit.
not sure
We're
what
down.
questions they could possibly have.
We're open books.
Open books.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Thanks for supporting the Last Podcast Network, our serious shows, and all the shows here. Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Hail gang.
I know that if you could possibly give anyone a hail, it'd be nice if you could hail me.
Hail me.
Hail Chris Bledsoe.
Hail
Why
Chris Bledsoe.
not?
Seriously.
Give it to him.
And
Yeah.
just the concept of circles.
Yeah. Because Chris is just, God, he's just doing the best he can.
And
He
isn't
really
the
is.
circle never ending?
No, you're right.
What if you told him time was a flat circle? You think he'd be into it?
I think he would fucking love it.
You'd be like, no way.
Oh, guess that's what a watch is.
It is indeed a flat circle.
Wow.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.